Good afternoon, evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are around the world. And welcome back to the Mancunian Way. My name is Martin. I'm your host, joined by our Mancunian Way crew. Ozzy, Pat, Rich, good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Hello, Martin. Hello, gents. Hello, everyone in the chat.
Sorry, are we interrupting you there, Rich?
No.
Doing a bit of filing?
No, I was doing my research for the show, mate.
What?
What
filing? Paperwork or nails?
Last minute homework.
Research me ass.
Yeah, no, I was researching an argument.
He's a bit upset that you put him off
Here
as
we
we were
go.
talking.
Right, so yeah, the Mancunian Way is here. Our guest Alan will join us very shortly. We may also be joined by a couple of Arsenal fans. Igal might join us, and Saad might join as well. But I'll let you know as that goes. They're currently on shows. Was trying to get Premsy on, but Premsy had to do it. He's had some family emergency and thoughts with him, mate. If you're watching, so why Premsy couldn't come on. But yeah, I'm going to say some hello in the comments. So I'm going to leave the Arsenal talk for 5 or 10 minutes because these three off camera, while we were late, decided they wanted to dispute transfer news. So I'm going to shut up now because anyone who's watched me has probably heard enough from me this week, and you're going to hear enough from me again tomorrow and Saturday. So I'm going to shut up and let these three go at it. Off you go. I'm just going to put the comments up and say hello to everyone.
I think we pretty much said what we needed to say off camera anyway. So, Martin, if you'd like to carry on with Arsenal.
What did you need to say, Pat?
Sorry?
All I heard, because I only heard the last 30 seconds, was outrageous slurring of one of the greatest players to ever play for City.
Yeah.
All I heard was,
you're on your own with that one.
All I heard
I wasn't critiquing the player. I was just talking about the economics of football.
Was criticism of Bernardo not playing well, and how he should be
no chance.
How he should be pushed out, and he wasn't playing well. But
yeah, I mean, I think we have.
I'd say he's been up there in the top 3 most important players in the greatest era in the club's history.
And Rich, that wasn't my dispute. My dispute was he's been bang average this season.
Yeah, well, he's played 100. This is what I was researching. He's played 170 games in 30 months. He's playing 1.5 games a week without break for nearly 3 years.
Well, now there's Rodri hardly. Yeah. But Rodri's not playing bang average this season, Rich. So there's your argument. Out of that window,
Rodri doesn't play quite the same as Bernardo. He doesn't play 15 different positions and play quite intensively. Rodri's a Rolls Royce, not a quad bike. Bernardo's zooming around like a quad bike. Rodri's.
You have to admit, Rich, though, he has been pretty average this season. Like
he's not been at his peak, but I think the guy's just played too much football for too long. And I think physically he can't possibly keep those levels up just playing or something. He doesn't have long-term injuries like half the rest of the team. You get, nearly everyone else has had decent time off with a couple of months injury. And so they've had proper breaks. Their body's properly recovered. He has just played and played and played and played.
I think we have to kind of address the elephant slightly in the room is that, he has been kind of gunning for a move over the last, 4 transfer windows. He's been wanting to leave. And he's not got his wish, and eventually he signed a new contract with a release clause. The rumours are circling again that, he's going to be gone this summer. It may break a lot of people's hearts, but I think it's time.
George Mendes is trying to get some very large deals done to make himself a lot of money. How much truth there is in those rumours, although if George Mendes puts them about, means he can do it. Well, Mendes isn't going to say it if he doesn't know he could make it happen his end with the players. But it's
just frustrating how the last handful of
hang on, my boss is here.
Seem to be
got shouted at because I didn't text him within 30 seconds of him texting me, because apparently my life is sitting on my phone responding to Alan. Good evening, Alan.
Oh, that's right.
Carry on.
And he's froze.
No, Rich,
look, you're saying about Bernardo, it's just what frustrated me is it seems like the last 2, maybe even 3, 4 transfer windows, a lot of them have been sort of the main headline has been what will Bernardo do, as much as it's been like what's the next big signing coming through. Probably the only exception to that was probably Haaland, because when Haaland came through the door as soon as the window opened, the hype was all around that. It didn't matter what we did, but here we go. So I just if it is going to happen, I just want it to happen, ASAP, and just if he goes, if he goes or if he doesn't, just come out straight away and just tell us what you're going to do this summer. Don't. And then the fact he got Euro on top of that as well too just makes it even more. You just sit.
It's pretty obviously that the reason he hasn't gone is that Pep's done everything he can not to let him go because he realises his importance to the team. And by all accounts, Cancelo's comments about people being told they can leave if they leave, and who one of the other players has just said this in the last few weeks as well. It's pretty obvious that's aimed at players like Bernardo, who are the club's made all their efforts to try and keep them at the club, and that's it's up to City to address that. I think maybe City have been a bit kind of uncertain because there's someone they don't want to lose, and equally Pep won't put his foot down and say you're not going under any circumstance. So that's created an uncertainty, but that's created by Pep's policy of saying, and City's policy of saying, that they will let a player go under any circumstances. When that happens, you can't shut down rumours because you've already said a player can go if they want to. So you can't shut down rumours, you can't shut down agents, and that's of City's making. Other managers and clubs are taking the stance, you're not going under any circumstance, we're playing a hard line and might upset the players.
Yeah.
But so what?
It's just frustrating how it just seems to be a major story of every summer window when it probably doesn't need to be. It probably doesn't need to be.
But that's our club's chosen stance, and overall, there's disbenefits. There's the downside of our stance is what's happened with Bernardo. The upside is we don't have, with the exception probably of Cancelo, players throwing the toys out the pram, strikes, and some of the problems that you see at other clubs who take a hard line. And
I think there's no arguing that he has been a great player in a lot of respects at City under his time, apart from the cloud that's been hanging over with the whole.
He's a club legend. He's one of our best players in our history.
Anyone asking questions on score predictions, I'm starting to come back later, so I don't ignore them at the moment. So you will get your questions out.
Well, I think it's time. If the rumours are true that he is going in the summer, I say let him go. I'd rather see him go, and I'm going to start looking at, because I think the thing we're missing is that we have not had the best of transfer windows over the last couple of summers. I don't think we've addressed certain problems, and they're starting to come back and bite us a little in the ass.
Well, so ask you a question, right? If we win the treble again this season, which is 5-1 or something, it's not unlikely. How can we say we've had major problems with our transfer windows when we've had, if we did say major problems, it would be the most successful team. It would be the most successful team in English and arguably European football history. If we,
I'm going to point better off than we were this time last season.
So we can't say this huge problem. And honestly, with the Bernardo thing, I think it's fans getting in a tiz about it. I don't think the club is. And so I think we fans get up in a ooh every summer, but that's the fans. I don't think the club is.
Expectations have gone far too high.
Yeah, I don't think the club is having a panic about Bernardo. I don't think they are. Ooh, I think the fans are, and maybe we just need to turn off the talk sport and, reading too many WhatsApp groups for a month in the summer and just,
I'm having a break from City fans in the summer.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Maybe we just accept there's going to be some
having a break
nonsense
from Alan.
and
You're
do
having, you're, having a break by going. You're having a break by going to America to watch City play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to speak to some City fans whose expectations haven't gone in through the roof.
No, but
next season they'll what we found nil on the moon.
You're going to walk into the pub in Orlando and say, right, who has expectations of this, this, and this? Okay, you stand on that side of the bar. Anybody else stand on that side of the bar?
Why have we not won 16 games on planet Mars yet? Terribly sorry. Expectations.
Rich, all I'll say is when the summer hits, within 2 days of the summer finishing, and there's no phone call, right, or no show, and I know Martin will be phoning me, you, and everybody for a chat in his car because he can't handle it when he's not talking.
I will be on holiday with my family on the other side of the pond, mate.
Yeah.
Mate, all I'll say to you,
I'm not your family.
I'll be watching.
This isn't a Vin Diesel movie. Piss off.
Mate, all I'll say is Martin's called me from Tenerife on plenty of times. Trust me, but he's walking down the
promenade. I won't be calling you from America, mate. I can promise you that right now.
Okay.
Thing is, we've got
can I
the Euros, the Olympics.
One at a time.
Rich, can I say? Didn't say that I'm panicking, or I think I said the transfer windows were rubbish. What I said is I don't think they've been particularly as good as the past windows. I think two players for me in the past two summer windows that have been great and exceptional is probably Haaland and Akanji. You could probably throw Alvarez in there in some respects.
Yeah,
but so the rest of the players that we've brought in, the rest of the players we've brought in have not really lived up to the expectations.
So you've just said two windows were not great, and then you've named three phenomenal signings from the first window, which you could then argue is one of our greatest window, probably our best window since 2011.
I want to take exception with Ozzy on that one.
Last summer,
kind of debate the last summer one, but I don't fully agree.
The one before was phenomenal.
No, because I don't see how you can improve a treble-winning squad. Again, you can't. It's not FIFA. We can't just go and buy world-class players all over the shop.
No, but all right. Let's just look at the players that have been brought in. You look at Calvin Phillips. You look at Sergio.
At the time, nearly every single team in England wanted him.
You look at Gomez.
Right. Yeah, who will sell for a profit? Who was bought as a loan
We always
player.
sign a Gomez, do we not? We always sign a young lad for about 5 million.
He basically came in and replaced
Ortega, Alvarez, Haaland, and Akanji. Akanji probably one of the best value signings we've made. Haaland probably the best, arguably also one of the best value signings, one of the top players and biggest signing we've ever made. Ortega, brilliant signing. Alvarez, brilliant signing. 4 phenomenal signings in one window. I don't think there's another Premier League team who's had 4. Yeah, I'd say that's a phenomenal transfer window. Last summer,
I'll say
Nunes and Kovacic.
Last summer
Nunes
was not a good window. Last summer, we didn't get our targets. We got third choice and a panic buy.
We got our biggest target, which is
right. Okay, right. Can we cap this for a bit? Because we've got the Arsenal crew joining us now, so let's move on to the Arsenal stuff. We will come back to the transfers because I'm laying into you for that for the 2 transfer windows. I'm not having the Erling Haaland one was a bad window.
Well said, Ozzy.
Not having it, Ozzy. Not having that one for Sundays, mate.
Ozzy.
The Sundays am I having that was a bad window. Anyway, Miguel, good evening, mate. How are you? Thank you for joining us.
I just want to say, I think last year's transfer window for you guys was terrible. And I
agree with
you. Join in on this. Behave again.
You've got Martin.
There's one rule on this show, Miguel, is do not stroke Alan's ego. Do not stroke Alan's ego. That is rule 1 in the Mancunian way rule.
I just came
do
from
not
Hamza's
stroke
stream.
Alan's ego.
I just came from Hamza's stream, and he's had a whole 360. He said last window was the best window City has ever had in their history,
No
and
cap.
now he's saying it's the worst.
Yeah, Gal, right.
Nunez
Nunez
is
stroke Alan's
absolutely
ego.
shocking.
There were two
Shocking.
two great windows. 22 was a brilliant window. 2010 was a brilliant window.
Right.
And-
Anyway, I was like, Rich, let's get off it. Right. Welcome, Gal. How are you, mate? Thank you for joining us. Overly Sad will join us as well in a bit. I'll try and not rinse and repeat because I know I don't want to rinse and repeat on your show on Saturday, mate. I don't want to.
Bro, that the best content creators repeat the same thing on every channel.
No, but I don't like rinse and repeating, Gal. That's my thing.
Nothing wrong with it.
Right.
If you notice, Fabrizio Romano repeats the same thing on every platform and gets paid the same money. So there's nothing wrong with it.
He's tapping merchant. No, Premsy's not. Premsy's had a family issue, Charlie. Otherwise, he would have been. Right. City versus Arsenal.
Can I ask you a question first?
Go on.
Are you guys nervous? Because it seems like you guys are nervous.
No, I've told you.
No.
No.
What? Because we got you on the show.
Nah, you guys got Arsenal next.
No, I'm like John Stones. I'm like John Stones. I didn't even know who we were playing.
That's the guys 2 weeks ago. Yes, they were nervous because I was the only one saying we can't play against Arsenal and play their game. We have to play our own game. And everyone else in the chat was just like, "Oh no, no, they're the team in form. We've got to be careful." So don't listen to them now.
Yeah.
2 weeks
The
ago,
best
they
story-
were all like, "Arsenal, they're so good. We haven't got a home."
The best story of the week, and I don't know whether John Stones was trolling Declan Rice or whether it's a true story, but when Rice asked Stones in the week if he was nervous for the game at the weekend, and Stones goes, "Which game?" and he goes, in the Premier League, and Stones says, "Who are we playing?" If that's true, either it's the best bit. It's either the best bit of mind play, and he's just completely trolling him, which you can't believe he wouldn't know it was a game, or it's just hilarious that that's worse than Ben White.
It makes sense. It makes sense because with John Stones' injury history, he's just focusing on strength, staying fit, and unfortunately, he got injured in the game.
Yeah, I think they're also real game-to-game players. They will not, and if they even talk about 2 games down the road, they'll get their head, a clip over the back of their head.
No, that happens. But all I have to say is, if that was Ben White, he would have got crucified. The fact that it's John Stones, he gets away with it.
Okay, Gal, let me throw a question back to you.
No worries.
As much as saying the City fans nervous, are some Arsenal fans too overconfident?
Bro, anyone who says we're going to go to City and smash you guys, they're idiots.
And you know who I mean, because there's been loads of people who've said they come in 4 and 5-0. Well, it's not just us. Oh, yeah. I've been on loads of shows and Twitter spaces where that's all coming out.
Nah, they're crazy. Anyone who says 4 and 5-0, they're lying through their teeth. To think you're going to go to the Etihad and keep a clean sheet, let alone score 5 or 4 goals. You're crazy. If we score 5 or 4 goals, they might as well give us the trophy because that's not happening. There's no way that's happening. The kind of performances that people put in at the Etihad away where throughout the last 2 years, to even keep you guys from conceding is one thing. But to score that many goals against you guys at the Etihad, it just doesn't happen. You don't have the ball enough times to get that many chances on goal, let alone score 5 or 4. They're nutcases. And whoever said that, they need to check themselves into the hospital because there's something wrong with them.
I'm seeing it on the terrace, seeing it on Judge Mo.
What?
No,
Who?
You can go and get them checked in, mine.
There's no way anyone sat there and actually said.
Who was it? No, who was it last night? Someone said they were confident of a one. It might have been Sard. Is it Salad? Sard?
No way Sard said he's going to.
He turned around and said, "Oh, no, was it? No, it might have been. Who was it? Someone said, will they win 1-0? And he's absolutely confident City do not score at the Etihad. And then I can't remember what show it was. Someone went,
All I'll say,
Sam's channel last night with Nobbins.
Oh
Nobbins
my
saying,
God, you're talking about Dawood.
Dawood, yeah. So don't tell me there ain't no one who's saying that exactly with your face like that.
Dawood,
all I'll say is that Arsenal have been playing really well this year, right? They
Yeah.
bought well last summer. They have been playing well. I've watched a few games of them this year, and City perform, even though they've been getting the results, performance-wise, they've not been as consistent this year as they were the year before, right? And that might be something to do with the signings we made last summer, which I agree with you, Igor. They weren't great, yeah. We'll just have to wait and see, because there's games when we played really well, and then all of a sudden we go 1-0 up, and then we just switch off. And we've done it a number of times this year, which I think, the guys will agree with me. They've done that, and then struggled to get. They come out with draws because they've switched off. Instead of just Anfield was the biggest one. We went 1-0 up. Anfield playing first 20 minutes brilliantly, and then stopped playing. And we were lucky to get away with a draw at Anfield. And we were lucky. And we're the first one to admit. I think if they play like they can do and keep it going for 90 minutes, then I'm confident we'll win.
The difference is, Alan, that I don't understand how Liverpool, with human beings playing for them, were able to press with the energy they did for as long as they did. It was superhuman. Yeah. And for whatever happens, we, the asthma must have been bad or something, because they were just incredible. I've not seen a team press like that in 40 years watching football with that energy for that long. It was superhuman, and that may count against them, because I do think Liverpool might burn themselves out in a way that Arsenal and City won't. I think Liverpool's best chance of the league is we beat Madrid, Arsenal beat Bayern, and I think the hype around an Arsenal City semi-final would be detrimental to both teams, because it would just suck the oxygen out of football, and everything would be on Arsenal and City for.
Can I ask a question? And this,
I think that's Liverpool's best chance.
This thing on current form.
We're not favourites because we're away at your house.
Well, no, I mean, point I'm making. What are we looking at? What is current form?
Current form is the way we're playing, the way we're destroying teams early in games, scoring 4, 5, 6 nils away against people. We've had 3 games, I think, that we scored there was a 7-game stretch where we scored 21 goals.
Mm-hmm.
And that is breaking City's record of 2 years ago when you guys scored 18 goals in 7 games.
Okay. But City are 22 games unbeaten.
Hey.
I think results wise, Liverpool, City and Arsenal are all in incredible
I don't
form.
know how someone is looking at it from a favourite point of view. This is what I mean. Because, yes, Arsenal have done well and scored many goals and played some great football. But the last 2 or 3 games, you've been a bit more pragmatic. I'm not going on these blistering scores. Yeah. Against Porto, I didn't just watch them. You were great at all.
No, we were shit against Porto.
But that's but to some City fans ago, when City are shit, it's end of the days. But some Arsenal fans are like, yeah, we were shit against Porto, but we're still favourites going into the Etihad. To some Arsenal.
One second.
Don't know what form people look at.
I have to explain something to you guys. From a City perspective, you guys are favorites. From an Arsenal perspective, you guys are favorites. From a neutral perspective, you guys are favorites. You're at home. You're the champions. You guys are the treble winners. We have not beaten you away at the Etihad since 2012. I think it was Santi Cazorla was the Boston midfield that game. We have not beaten you since then. So when it comes down to it, the reality of the situation is anybody who tells you that Arsenal are favorites are clueless. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. certain people might come on here and say Arsenal are favorites and try to lie and say we're on better form. I can give you reasons on why I think my team will do well, but it doesn't mean I'm saying I'm coming to Etihad and I'm guaranteeing 3 points. I can't do that. Even if I say I'm going to Manchester United or Tottenham, I can't guarantee 3 points away from those clubs. I know you guys can't guarantee 3 points away at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So what makes me think that I'm going to come to your stadium and guarantee 3 points? It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, the odds. I mean, the odds reflect it. I mean, the odds are basically City slightly better than even money, and 2-1 the draw, 2-1 Arsenal. So the odds are saying, 50% chance City win, 25% chance to draw, 25% chance Arsenal win.
That's
So I mean, the odds reflect that, and I think that's actually quite low because normally, that reflects the improvement in Arsenal because, in recent seasons it would have been 2/3 chance City win and maybe a 15% chance Arsenal win or a draw. So it's definitely improved. But I think what people are forgetting is just you have Arsenal, Liverpool, and City. If you look at their results, all three are on exceptional runs. You're talking about all three who, for the last 20 games, have probably lost a game or two between them. Probably won 50 plus of those 60 games, and all had good results. I think the form thing is that Arsenal have looked slightly easier on the eye in terms of playing close to their best football, whereas City haven't, and Liverpool have. Well, you'd believe Liverpool have 8 teenagers playing, after 3 men get sent off in the first minute. The hyperbole around Liverpool. But Liverpool have been, I think, not close to City or Arsenal in most of their games. They've just played on emotion and got last-minute winners and got lucky against teams down the bottom. I don't think we've got particularly lucky.
If Liverpool,
I'm not saying it can't, but
if Liverpool win the league, it will be purely based on emotion that this is their last dance.
If Liverpool win the league, you're all going to have to leave the country for a month.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
It'll be bad enough at the other end of the world. It'd be a nightmare here. But
the thing is, if City win the league, you guys do a 4-peat. You guys break Manchester United. Forget about Manchester United's 3-peat, Arsenal's 3-peat, Liverpool's 3-peat. You've done something that I don't think anyone else has done in the league's history.
Huddersfield's 3-peat.
Yeah, but you Gal City fans don't do that. We don't come out with this. We don't do what some.
No, but this is what I don't like though, because you guys are a relatively smaller fan base than Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal, and not as loud online. People say, "Oh, let City win," but I personally think continuously letting you guys win is creating a giant, and we are all just ignoring it, and it's not a good thing. We've already created a giant. We let you guys win so many years in a row.
You feel like we won the treble and they're still trying to ignore it.
I'm the only person online saying we have to stop them, and people are like, let them win, and I'm like, why? Because we'd rather let them win than you get your first win in 20 years, or let Liverpool win a second. Like to me,
that's only Tottenham fans saying that to you. Let's be real. I've got a Tottenham fan.
West Ham fans.
I've got Tottenham fans.
London fans, but most fans don't want Liverpool. Most fans I talk to are like City or Arsenal, as long as it's not Liverpool.
Okay,
it's only Liverpool who no one wants to win apart from Liverpool fans.
Because we haven't heard from Ozzy and Pat. Ozzy, who do you see as favourites going into this game on Sunday?
I see City as being the favourites. I think Miguel is talking a lot of sense. I think there's a lot of City fans worrying about Arsenal and about what they can do and their form and everything like that. But I just think, as I said 2 weeks ago, you can't play into Arsenal's hands. We are the champions, and we are the champions for a reason. We won the treble for a reason. I think that is something that, and we call it City-itis, where we don't give ourselves enough credit. And for me, the credit's in the bank of what we did last season. And I just think, yes, Arsenal are doing well, but I still think that Arsenal still got a lot more of a journey to have yet. I think Arsenal are capable of winning this league, but not just yet. I think they need another season, maybe 2, but definitely another season of just pushing like Liverpool did. Liverpool pushed us and kept on pushing us until they eventually just cracked us, and we lost that one off season. So I think until Arsenal have done that, I just think for me, don't play into their hands. I think
I agree with that, Ozzy, but I understand the Gal's point then, because I think and correct me if I'm wrong here, Gal. I think what Gal's saying is everyone, including some City fans, are saying City are probably weaker than they've been in the last 2 or 3 years.
Yes.
The possibility of a 4-peat. If they get a 4-peat, because we all know City are going to go stronger again in the summer. We will spend, and we're going to bring, we all know Paqueta's virtually 90% in the door. And see you later. We know there's other players going to come in. So I think from Miguel's point of view, he's thinking they ain't going to go and buy Kovacic and Nunes again in the summer. They'll go again in the summer. So
I hope they get rid of Nunes, though.
No, Alan, shut up with the nonsense a minute. Let's start serious.
No,
the point Miguel's making is, I think, because from an Arsenal point of view, they can't whack. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Miguel. You can't whack 200-300 million down every summer like we can at the moment.
We have to worry about we have to worry about financial fair play because we don't make we haven't sold any players for decent money. You guys are probably one of the best teams at buying and selling. Think about how much you sold Sterling, you sold Zinchenko, Jesus to us, Sane. Every time it seems like you guys bring in a bunch.
Apologizing for that, Gal. By the way, apologizing for giving Zinchenko.
It's not just money we sold him for, but it was the money we sold him for with all of the money had a year left on their contract.
Gal, the biggest where we get the most money and consistent money, which people seems to forget, is our youth. We build them up to about 21 and we get rid of them. We raise 80 odd million a year guaranteed.
That's
you guys sold James Trafford for I think a record for somebody who's never played senior football.
It's not just that.
Nearly 20 million, wasn't it?
I'll be honest, I said this last night on Judge Mo. I think by the way, if Liverpool and Arsenal don't win the league this year, I don't think they're doing it next year.
1 second.
The
reality situation is we can't just say City's going to win the league every year. It's not logical. There's going to be eventually a time where you crack.
It's never good. That's never going to happen, mate. That's impossible.
I think you can't
win the league every single year. You can't, mate. You can't win the league every year.
You can't just pencil your team in to win the league every year. It's not realistic.
No. I think as well is that yes, Martin, you're right. We can go out and spend a lot of money next summer, but I also think the players that we potentially are going to lose and the players that we're going to bring in doesn't mean they're always going to hit the ground running. It takes a season, and that season could be the season where it could be Arsenal's time. Because they're going to have a collective squad that have played really well together. And had those two title, challenges, and lost out.
And we're not going nowhere.
Exactly, you're not. You've still got one of the youngest squads that have really kind of pushed over 2 seasons. And for me, I think next season, I think that's the time where Arsenal could be a really big threat for me.
Well, I'll be honest with you now. Yeah. I'll be honest with you now, Ozzy. I think Arsenal are the biggest threat this year, not Liverpool.
Yeah, and I think there's I don't think there's any reason to believe Arsenal. If Arsenal have a seat, even if Arsenal didn't win the league, if they got to the semi-finals of the Champions League, came second in the league by 2 points, I think they'd still have momentum with them because they'd have improved year on year. I think Arsenal could go out and spend 170, 180 million. And if they spent that wisely on 2 or 3 players, a striker and a couple of other players to fill gaps, I think that could hugely improve them. I think there's more of their players who are still improving than not improving. So I think there's no reason to think Arsenal, as long as they don't have a disappointing end that starts getting talk about Arteta or something, I think there's no reason to think they won't improve. I think Liverpool, on the other hand, Liverpool could be anything next year. They could be 6th because they've been built around. They've been built around a manager.
If Arsenal bring in something like Ivan Toney as a striker, I think
rated me. I think he's a quality player.
I think that really makes them a serious challenger because
I think it improves them overnight.
We're not going to get Ivan Toney because there's people in the club don't like his attitude.
Even what I'm saying is they need to bring a quality striker.
One because of in game they've seen him like throw his arms up and basically stop defending, stop pressing from the front, and not really being an Arsenal.
Arteta won't like that because he's school of Pepini. He wants people to work.
Yeah, and also just the temperament in his interviews is kind of like, I'm here, but I'm only here until I go to my next club. It's kind of like that turns people off. You want someone?
I'm not saying it'll be Tony, but I'm saying signing a striker, a couple of other players, would make a huge difference.
I'll take Isaac from Newcastle.
Can improve next year.
I'll take Isaac.
He's a quality player. He is a quality player. But
you know what it is with? I don't say, because I do agree. I think Isaac would be a decent thing. The thing is with them, I don't think they'll sell both Bruno and Isaac.
They have no choice after what happened today. Because they're going to be.
No, it's true. Yeah, no, but it's if they get. I think they'll get away because Bruno's got £100 million release clause, hasn't he?
Yeah,
but they're not in the strength of negotiation.
I don't think they'd have to get rid of Isaac unless Isaac pushed for the move. Now, I can imagine Isaac going, you know what? I'd like to go to Arsenal now, maybe. But I can probably see Newcastle saying 90, 100 million to get him. Because he hasn't got a release clause, unlike Bruno. Bruno's got that release clause out the door.
Let me ask you guys this, though. Do you believe that City are going to become continuously every year get better? Or do you think that you guys got your treble and you're going to have to recycle through a whole new squad before you get super competitive to that level again?
I think we'll have one season where we drop off, like Fergie did, where we have to rebuild 3 or 4 people into the team. I think we'll have 1 year rebuilding.
Our job is to be prepared for that. That's all it is.
When Fergie did it, they had 1 season where they didn't do that well, and that's when he's as a transition of players. And I think that's what will happen. Common sense will tell you that.
I think it should do, but we are building to address that. The fact we signed Gvardiol and Doku and players like that shows that we are trying to work through that.
Out of my mouth.
No, I
think this is our recycle season. Yeah.
Partly, I don't think it's fully, but I think it's partly. I think it's been a De Bruyne comes in. De Bruyne doesn't play half the season, and Foden becomes the new De Bruyne. We've had some of those things. I think the one thing that for a long time has banged on about every season is our risk is what happens if Rodri decides at 31 he's won 6 titles or 7 titles, he's won a couple in Europe, and he decides he wants to go and play back in Spain, or Rodri gets an ACL and goes out, because I see every other player we can replace and we can play that. Even Haaland, I don't think we actually drop off much without Haaland. We play the false 9 brilliantly. Alvarez can go there and play great. I think De Bruyne was out. Foden came in. I don't think we missed De Bruyne half as much as people thought. But Rodri, I do worry about, because you can just about play Stones there, but Stones doesn't last 2 months or even a month nowadays. Kovacic can have a good game there against a Luton or someone, but I wouldn't want to see, we saw against Arsenal last time away that, Kova had probably his worst game for City. So to me, the transition, I think every other transition will go okay, but I am worried. We've got to find the next Fernandinho or the next Rodri and have them at City for a year or two. So if and when Rodri does decide to go, we've got that sorted, because I did think we'd struggle to get to replace Fernandinho, and we did. You know, we managed to go from, you know, one of our most underrated players ever in Gareth Barry, and then we managed to get Fernandinho, and we managed to go to, you know, we had that dodgy year with Javi Garcia or whatever, but we've managed to replace. But we've got to do that again, and that is when I worry we'll
Just
have.
Just imagine if you guys got Declan Rice over us, we would have been finished.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not quite sure how we'd have played it all, because Rice would have been playing a real number 8 role.
No,
I think played instead of Rodri,
I think Rodri and Rice.
Well, maybe Rodri would have played 8, flexible.
Rodri would have played an 8, mate, because he's been playing a lot of 8s this year. When Kovacic he's been moving forward.
Pat, what do you think?
Well, if we're talking about, you know, if Rodri in the long term, then, you know, I think a great fix right now would be to get Kimmich in, if we can get him in.
I agree with you.
Not just because of what he can play, but because you know that he'll hit the ground running immediately. None of this one season to bet in or anything like that. He's played under Pep. He knows how to play. His versatility is second to none. He's everything that Pep asks for a player. At 29, he's a seasoned veteran. He would just bet in. He would just hit the ground running straight away.
What about the fact that he's never played outside of the Bundesliga, though?
Who cares? His international career is good.
Well, you could say the same thing for Gundogan too.
I'm not as confident.
It took Gundogan a year.
The thing is.
But then again, the difference is Kimmich's football philosophy, basically from a young age, came up through Pep. He spent 2-3 years with Pep anyway.
Gundo
for
was
me, that transition
from,
would not be difficult for him in any way.
Gundo was about his injury. He was coming back from a long-term bad injury when he.
We signed him. We signed him fresh off a dislocated kneecap. That's not an easy fix. Yeah. That was. And then he did his back. And then he did his back halfway through the first season too.
See, my point is on this, because I want to get into the games tactically in a minute. If you look at the squad, the average squad is 26.3 years in age. It's about the 10th. It's about middle of the road in the Premier League on age of squad. You got to remember, we've already started it. We brought in Doku, 1920. You brought in Gabardiol, 1920. They're not even in our Premier League squad because they don't have to be added because of their ages. So that tells you where youngsters are. We added the Kovacic and the Nunes. Kovacic more for the experience of losing Gundogan. Walker's not going to be here in 2 years, probably. So you've got people who will come in. You look, by the way, say Bernardo Silva goes out the door and you bring in a 19, 20-year-old João Neves from Benfica. Well, straight away, you know, you've just lowered it even further then.
No, but that's risky because you're now losing a lot of your experience, your brain trust, and it could make you worse.
No, but the thing is, I mean, I'm going to ask you this: when are you expecting Pep to leave?
I think he leaves when he sees that the cycle is not the same, and you can't win with this team.
But that's the point, Gal. He's got a year and the rest of the season in a year, plus the rumours are he's going to sign probably a 2-year extension. So there's 3.5 years that he can recycle through again, and he's already started it now.
But he could also leave with a contract on the table and just say, "I've had enough."
The rumours are he's probably going to re-sign. There you go.
Well, you got to start worrying, Ego, because if Pep does go, then Arteta's coming back.
I don't think so, because at this moment,
I don't either.
Because at this moment in time, the trajectory of our club and the age bracket of our players, they haven't hit their prime yet. If we win the league, Mikel Arteta would be the youngest manager to ever win the league this year. And what's to say that this team couldn't go and do what Arsenal has never done and go on to go win the Champions League in a couple of years? None of our key players are 25 or above. None of our key players are like 26 or above yet. Majority of them are younger than 26. The only person.
You should have won the Champions League with when Henry was playing under Wenger that time.
But bro, we got Barcelona and they cheated us. These referees cheated us.
When the keeper got sent off, it was game over, which is a real shame because you should have won that trophy.
Jens Lehmann, yeah.
They should have won it. They were a fantastic team.
Klopp leaving might change Pep's thinking. One, he's just going to look at the dynamics of the league. If he can see that he will able to continue to pick up trophies with City, and you guys will continuously be up there in the Champions League and in the league, I don't see Pep leaving. The moment I see Pep leaving is where he sees the end of a cycle. And he's like, I've done everything I can do. He doesn't want to tarnish his legacy. He's not one of those managers who's going to do another rebuild, I don't think, with City.
He's done a rebuild
I think
already.
he'll want to leave where it's a seamless transition to whoever takes over City from him. Whether
I must admit,
that's
I
a
think-
manager in the
I
lower
think
ranks of
Pep
our
cares more-
academy or someone who's
think-
had some previous tutelage under him. And,
I think Pep
it's a
cares
transition straight through, yeah.
I think Pep cares more about City and where they're going to go, obviously, than just him leaving.
Remember, Eagle. Remember, we won the league with Mancini and Pellegrini. And the crucial thing here is the hierarchy. Caldoun, Siriaro, and the chair and the chairman they are the key. If they leave, then
the real key, Cheeky. And
Cheeky.
you never give the credit he deserves, but Cheeky
Anyway,
is
we're going
Cheeky
up
big
to-
team.
so
Cheeky big
central.
team. Yeah, it's so cool.
You guys are the best run club in the league. We know that. I'm not
Yeah,
disputing
exactly.
you guys for 1 second. I'm just saying right now, you had a Liverpool team that was built well and came up, and you still defeated them. You now have another team, an Arsenal team. I don't know if Pep is willing to go through a whole cycle with a whole new different rival.
He likes competition. Klopp gave him a challenge every time, and that's why he stayed. But who's to say Arteta won't give him that challenge?
Yeah,
I think he
I
will.
will say though, Alan, I don't think there's a circumstance Arteta comes to City.
No, I don't. I was trying to get a bite out of Ego when I said that.
If he's going well at Arsenal, he stays, and if he's not going well at Arsenal, I think there's other managers in London who would be more likely than him, and I'm not saying they're remotely
You guys
likely.
disagree with that? I said you're the best run club in the world, and he disagrees.
Yeah, we are.
I don't
He might
think
be
he's
agreeing.
disagreeing.
No.
I
Well,
think he's agreeing.
Alonso's not going to Liverpool or Bayern. He's more likely going to stay at Leverkusen. So that's
It's official. It's official.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Anyway, we're into the Arsenal stuff. We're going
Let's
to
be honest.
Other roads.
Let me give you my tactics in the game. I think you guys don't realize that we actually attack more from the left, and we get majority of our goals from inside our opponent's box on your right, where your right back is, where our left winger would be. That's where we get majority of our goals. Majority of our chance creation comes from that side, in my opinion. Saka.
That's where you got your goal against us at the Emirates.
There you go. So we dominate that area. Even in our opponent's half, we don't dominate too much of our opponent's half, but inside that box, in that area, in the box, we are always there. So you need to know who your right back is going to be for that game, and you need to know who your right center back is going to be for that game, because that area is where we're going to be targeting for the majority of this game.
Who's your usual link up on the left hand side, Igal? Is it Kivior and Martinelli?
Kivior, Martinelli, and also don't forget Havertz is sometimes in the midfield. Declan Rice is also played on that left 8, so that whole left side is going to be Kivior, either Havertz or Rice. Most likely it's going to be Rice. Havertz is going to probably start up top for this game, and it's actually probably going to be Jesus. If Martinelli is not available, it's going to be either Jesus or Trossard. I would rather play Jesus in this game. I think Jesus.
You say that because I'd be more concerned if you started Trossard, because Trossard gives us headaches whenever he plays against us.
You know what? You're right, actually. I don't want any former City players in this game. You're right. Because there's a mentality thing where when you guys play against your former players, the way you guys mugged off Zinchenko, the way you guys mugged off some of these guys, there's a mentality thing also. When you play against your former teammates, you kind of look at them like, I used to see these guys.
You know, this with Jesus Igal, he's very emotional. He's such an emotional player. I don't know if you know.
Way worse. Zinchenko cried after.
Rupert FC, yeah.
Oh no, the pair of them are. They're so emotional. Honestly, I don't. But I don't know. I mean, the one thing I was going to ask you about tactic, and by the way, Muddied Up was saying you said best run club in England. He was saying no, we're also the best run club in the world. So he was sort of adding on to what you were saying.
I agree. Yeah.
I'm going to go around the panel with this because this is a question. I've said this and everyone's disagreed with me. And I've explained why. I've said whoever loses this game, for me, not mathematically, because I know not mathematically, there's 9 games left, but I think mentally, whoever loses this game is out of the title race, and it becomes a 2-horse race.
I think only if you lose, you're out.
No, I don't. I don't think. I don't agree with that. I think that we are going in,
I don't agree with
and
it at all.
Arsenal will be the same. We are going into an April where we're going to be playing 9 massive games in 4 weeks, basically. When we go, Arsenal, Villa, Palace, Madrid, is it Brighton, Madrid, Chelsea? You know, we go into that run where we're playing every 3 days. And I actually think, and Arsenal will be playing all those games except possibly, you'll probably have a Premier League game the weekend of the FA Cup semi-finals. So you're probably playing the same number of games. Yeah, you'll be playing the same number of games. And I think, honestly, those teams are going to hit into that game. And the second that game's over, they're going to be preparing for a midweek game that's important. The second that's over, they're going to be paying for another game on Saturday. Second that's over, it's going to be a Champions League semi-final. So I don't think they're going to have time to get. I think it's just going to be heads down, and I don't think City will give up till the maths says they are going to lose.
I knew he'd say that.
Gal, here's a question for you.
Either.
Here's a question for you. No denying that the last few weeks you've probably been the most informed team in the Premier League. A lot of us on the panel here had said, like, you know, leading up to the international break, that maybe, you know, just having this week off or this international break was a bit of a blessing in disguise, a good chance to sort of, you know, reset, get ready for the run-in for the remainder of the season. And I drew parallels to what we did last season, where fresh off an international break, we came in, played Liverpool at home, and we absolutely knocked them off the park. And that pretty much set us on our way for the league and the Champions League. I'm not saying the international break was a momentum killer, but do you feel like maybe you kind of wish the international break didn't happen, just to keep that sort of momentum and that really good run of form you had going?
I'll just ask a quick question. I take it Walker is not playing on Sunday. Is that correct?
I think Walker will be fit.
No, Walker will be fine.
Yeah, I would love it if you play Walker. I think he's dog shit this season. No offense, but the guy's terrible. This season,
he's
oh no, right back Walker's
terrible.
good, but when he keeps playing right wing back Walker, it's just no. It's not
and you know what? He's your worst captain. And to say that we don't know if our momentum has been killed. All we know is that we've had a couple weeks off and we haven't played a game yet. If we play you guys and we win, no one's going to say our momentum was killed. If we play you guys and we play well and we draw, no one's going to say our momentum was killed. The only time people are going to say our momentum was killed is if you see an unprecedented performance, which is terrible.
And, you know, one thing I'll say on Walker, and I got a bit panned on this show a year ago, sticking up for Walker, when even a lot of City fans have written him off, is that when Walker plays as a right back with his mission to defend, I think he's the best right back in world football since Dani Alves. And, you know, he stopped playing. I think Walker is an absolutely phenomenal defender. And last year, he'd been written off by City fans. And when we started playing the big games against Real Madrid and stuff like that, and he was told, you're defending now, we're not expecting you to be a winger. He came in and he was then suddenly back to being the best right back in world football again, when he just destroyed Vinicius and stuff like that.
Let me make my point clear. I'm not saying he's a bad right back. I'm not saying he's one of the worst right backs. He's the best right back I've seen in my lifetime. But he's one of your worst captains based on his performances. He has been the worst captain you guys have had in 7 years. His performances this season have cost you guys more points than he's won you guys. And when I say he's dog shit, this season, I'm not saying he's a bad player. You want to know something? In majority of teams, he'd be probably their best player. But for you guys this season,
Pep.
Guys this season, he's been terrible. Yeah. No, it's not on Pep when he is consistently giving away goals to the other opponent. I don't think
he's done that because he's been playing right winger, and then he's running back from a position 100 yards down the pitch from where he's supposed to be defending. So then he looks like he's not defending great, but it's because last season when he was playing brilliantly, he was there on the halfway line. He was maybe pushing a third of the way into the opponent's half. This season he's been on the byline. Pep's telling him to go outside the left back of the other team and put a cross in, and he can't cross.
So you're
So
blaming.
Occasions he's playing a more advanced
been-
role than
yeah.
Bernardo Silva.
He's been
One second.
totally out of position.
You're
all
blaming.
season.
You're
He's been
blaming Pep's tactics for your player not kicking the ball out of the box because he ends up conceding a goal.
because
City
he's
not-
usually just run
Mate,
100
hey,
yards back out of
City-
position.
City are not playing the same way they did last year. It's changed the way they play, and the fullbacks, Walker and Guardiola
it's just not suited to him.
are Aki are bombing down on the outside, which last year none of them did.
And they're always out of position then for every bit of play. And that's on Pep.
I do see the positioning your defenders are taking up, but when it comes down to his performances, you guys cannot lie. He has been terrible.
Mate,
Yeah.
all I'll say to you is because Pep has changed the system, the way they play, every single season, and everyone will agree on this, every single season Pep alters the way we play. So clubs and teams like yourselves don't get used to the way we play. And that's a fact. He does change.
Yeah. And I think, and if Walker is expected to go around the outside of your left back and be out of position the whole game, then I think that is a weakness. I'm not going to say differently, but if Walker is told to actually play to proper right back and, actually stay in position, stay in line with the other two, then I think it's a wholly different game.
Fair enough.
And I hope we're sensible enough against Arsenal to do that, because I don't think we need, defenders who can't cross trying to be Peter Beagrie in the
If I see a Kanji starting, I'll be more worried than Kyle Walker.
Kanji
will start because Stones won't.
Kanji's
100% fit.
I think
So's
with what John
So's
Stone's been injured. I think what most of us would probably agree our back four would probably be. I think it'll be Walker, Akanji, Stones, and Ake. That's my thought. It's not a Gvardiol game. Ake always plays well. He seems to play. He always has a great game when he marks up against Saka.
By the way, someone said if I see Rico Lewis, I'll be happy. I'll be excited if I see Rico
Lewis won't play.
I don't think you will. I think I think the only question probably was whether Walker or Akanji would start right back, and I think if Stones is injured, it'll be Walker starts right back with Akanji inside him. It does remove one dilemma because Akanji's probably been consistently our best defender, I think, on form this season, but Stones so key last year, so and he just hasn't quite got his fitness, but Stones has to play, and therefore against Liverpool we felt we'd play Stones and Akanji, but Diaz is our real captain. I don't care what
let me ask you guys this. So
Diaz is the captain.
It says Kyle Walker is the captain, so I'm going to ask you guys this:
he is the captain by name, but Diaz is the captain on the pitch.
On the pitch, Diaz is captain.
1 second, because I'm getting crucified on the chat, and obviously the City channel, we got 5 City fans here. I want to know just yes or no questions. Is Kyle Walker better than Gundogan? I don't think so. You guys agree?
What?
Is Kyle Walker?
No,
I'm going through every captain you've had for the last couple of years.
Okay.
Is he better than Gundogan? No. Is he better than De Bruyne? No. Is he better than Fernandinho? No. Is he better than Company? Probably not.
No way.
Is he better than
De
Bruyne isn't a great.
Walker's a good captain, but it's who he's come after. That's what.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
We got, but trouble is, Pep doesn't choose the captain.
Players do.
The captain.
Players do.
Squad.
Players vote.
The players vote.
Pep says we have 5 captains. There's 2 captains in terms of, if you watch the game, who dominates. Ruben Diaz is the vocal player who organises the team, and he always has since the day he joined. He's the captain on the pitch. And we saw at Anfield that without Diaz, no one was organising the defence in the same way. And the other player is Rodri, who he's almost, so much goes through Rodri, and so much of what we do is dealt with by Rodri, that our captain has become almost, since Company and maybe Fernandinho, we were proper captains. Since then, it's just a vote at the beginning of the season, and it's a ceremonial armband, because I really don't think, apart from approaching the referee, the captain does much. I think Diaz is the kind of leader, and Rodri the leaders on the pitch.
Yeah.
And I don't see Walker organising the team or any of that. It's Diaz, it's Rodri, and Kevin De Bruyne shouts a fair bit. At people to get organised.
Going back to your question, Martin, about like how important this game is.
I don't know. We're going to the captain.
Yeah,
I only asked the question, and 20 minutes later, we're into captains.
Yeah, going back to the original question, I think you're right. I think, if City lose this game, I think I really see us struggling to win the league, if I'm honest. The two big games that concern me in the league is this game and Spurs away. I'm not saying the other games are going to be easy, but these are the two biggest games that concern me about us.
Yeah, I think we're going to batter Spurs away. I think we're going to put 5 past them. After 102 shots without scoring, I think they're going to be like buses. I think goals are going to rain down on Spurs from us. This game I'm worried about. But yeah, Spurs, I think we've got harder games than that. I just think it's fate sets that up for us. But I don't know. I think
you're right.
But I think what you're all forgetting, and this is why I'm not going to write the league off if we win, is that whoever is top has a very different. Whoever's top and has it totally in their control has a totally different kind of pressure to the others. If we draw or we lose on Saturday, all we have to do is go out and win every weekend for the rest of the season. Whoever's top has it in their hands, and that brings a different kind of nerves. It brings a different kind of pressure. And for Arsenal, for Arsenal, it'd be better for them to be second, behind Liverpool for another month or 6 weeks, because once you top, you're in the same position as last year. It's in your hands. There's a different kind of pressure. Players are thinking differently about the season, and a lot of teams, that isn't good. For a lot of teams, it's better to be. And City have done a lot of their best seasons, sometimes actually sitting just behind Liverpool with a game in hand, or sitting behind Arsenal last year. Because all you have to do is
when
win.
we're chasing, we're just like that.
Right,
Once you top,
I know
you've got
flow, but
a
Alan
different
needs
pressure.
to jump.
Guys,
and we keep going way off into topic, and it's going to be a 5-hour preview.
I had to go. See, guys.
Cheers, Alan.
I'll speak to you over the weekend. Eagle, nice to meet you, mate. Take it easy.
Stay, Alan.
Yeah, it's a holiday here, Martin. We've got all day.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
But the preview can't be 5 hours. We need to try and.
See you, mate.
I give you my predictions, and then I gotta go, bro.
No worries, mate.
I'm after everything I said, I'm going with the 2-1 Arsenal victory. But only way I could see us dropping points is if it ends up 2-2. I don't think we're gonna lose. I think we're coming there. We're leaving with something, and if we leave with 3 points, it's gonna be we nick it late in the game 2-1. But most likely, if I was a betting man, I would bet on a 2-2 draw.
Well, before you leave, I think we're gonna win 3-1.
What makes you so confident?
Because when City have to win, we turn up. We're at home. We haven't lost in 15 months.
You haven't beaten Arsenal or Liverpool this season.
Right, and who have you beaten?
We've beaten you and Liverpool.
Right, that's it though.
What?
No, but you beat us very early on.
Yeah.
No, we beat Liverpool like 4 games ago.
Yeah, you were very good against Liverpool. You beat us without Rodri. Yeah. You beat us without.
The only reason why I'm trying
to the point is we've not conceded 2 or more goals in about 3 months.
You haven't scored against us this season. You played us twice. I think you scored once.
Oh, don't include the Community Shield. Are we doing friendlies now and penalty shootouts?
Hey, if you would have won that game, you would have claimed it as a 7th trophy.
No, we wouldn't have.
No, we don't count it. We
SUPERCUP
don't count
and
it as a
Club World
trophy.
Cup, yeah, I'm counting. But I'm not. The Community
Listen,
Shields are friendly.
I-
Come on.
I think, Martin, out of everything you've said this show, you're being a little bit naive to think you're going to beat Arsenal 3-1.
Why?
I think it's going to be much closer than that. Minimum 2-1.
Gal, to be respectful in all the thing, you came to the Etihad in form last season, if you remember.
No, it's different.
And you got smacked 4-1.
It's different. Last year, we played you twice with Rob Holding at the Etihad. We never came to the Etihad with our fully fit defense.
But Gal, on the old point is you've got to do something that no team has done in a year and a half.
I hear that. And I think my team is up for
Real
that.
Madrid couldn't do it. Bayern Munich
And I
couldn't do
do,
it.
and I do
Liverpool
think
couldn't
that
do it.
And you want to know something? This could be a passing of the torch.
We'll see.
we'll see. I think
Listen,
what the
Gal,
other
if you
thing
win, you win.
you've got
But
yeah,
I back my
But
team.
if we
You've not
win,
lost.
if
You've
we
not
win,
lost in 22 games. You're not unbeaten in 22 games. We are.
I know that. But you haven't
But
been.
you think you're coming to the Etihad and doing something no team, including Real Madrid and Bayern Munich, when they're not Bayern Munich, couldn't do.
Really and truly, I think most likely it's going to be a draw. But if I follow my heart, we could maybe nick it. The reality of the situation is, to think either team is going to win by more than a 2-goal margin, I think is a little bit naive. I think it's going to be a close game, and it's going to come down to 1-goal difference.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't pay that much attention to the Emirates game simply because Rodri wasn't playing, and we know we lose about half our games without Rodri, and with Rodri, you know, we haven't lost in 14 months or something. So it is a totally different game. So you're going to see Rodri and De Bruyne in midfield, where at the Emirates we had Bernardo and Lewis. And you know that is a step up from two good. Well, but Bernardo's world class, but he's world class playing from the wing back into midfield. And Lewis is a very, very good young player. But Rodri and De Bruyne are in the top 5 midfielders in the world, without in my view, without any question. And that is a huge difference to the team. And I'm not saying Arsenal won't. Arsenal are a better team now than they were in October. But I do think
Arsenal are a very good team.
I think it's the 2 best teams playing. And I will say, if City don't manage to win the league this year, I hope to God Arsenal win it, not Liverpool.
But the internet will break. And even the gal knows that if Arsenal win the league, the internet will break.
Oh, no, but the world will break if Liverpool win the league. That's the problem. I'd rather the internet breaks than the world breaks.
The thing is, listen, Gal, your team is brilliant, 100%. I'm just saying it because I have belief in my team. If it was at the Emirates, different story. It's Fortress Etihad. Fortress Etihad.
You want to know something?
We scored at the Etihad. We turn up at the Etihad in big games.
And you want to know something? You have not turned up this season in big games at the Etihad. You drew against Liverpool, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but Liverpool, it was such a false result.
You drew against Chelsea, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Yeah. The only team
that was poor finishing, Gal. That wasn't good. We got outplayed.
You drew against Martin. Martin, I'm rebuttaling you, and you don't want to hear it. But the reality is,
I do want to hear it, but you're not listening. You're talking like Tottenham, Chelsea played us off the park.
No, they didn't. But you didn't win those games.
I agree, we didn't because we couldn't finish. If we'd have finished, we'd have put 5 or 6 past each one.
Tottenham, we should have been 6 up at halftime.
We hit the post 5 times against Tottenham.
Absolutely, we killed them. And Liverpool,
I've just given you 3 examples of which this season, yes, it might be a fortress. You might not have lost the game, but you didn't win.
No, I agree. But in all fairness, 40 minutes ago, you were telling me how some Arsenal fans have got this chest, and now you're saying it.
No, I'm giving you logical reasons in why I think my team can get a result, and why
I'm giving you logical reasons.
I think you're just saying
you just disagree with my logic.
Yeah, and I'm countering you. I think logic says that this is going to be a close game, and either team can win it. But I think neither team is going to
3-1
win.
can be close, Gal. It can be 2-1 in like for 89 minutes, and we go and bag a third when you're pushing for the equaliser. Still a
could be
close game, but 3-1.
Where's your UCL? You know what, guys? It's fun. It's been a good day, man. Honestly, I appreciate the stream. I'm just gonna say this.
Don't worry, I'm gonna get the revenge back on Saturday. Don't you worry, I'll get it back Saturday.
I personally think it's gonna be a good game. Either way, you're gonna be nervous on the day. And
may the best team win. And listen, Igal, you come on with 5 City fans. I really do. You know, you come on. You've not hidden. Thank you very much, mate.
No worries, man. You have a good one. See you Saturday.
Take care, mate.
Yeah, pleasure having you on, mate. Take care.
Anyway, don't worry, he'll get his revenge back on me on Saturday when I'm on with the Arsenal fans. No, I do think we'll win 3-1. I'm not. The point is, I think it'll be a close game. 3-1. The trouble is, people look at the scoreline. I just have faith in our team with the run we're on, what we're doing at home, and we haven't conceded more than a goal in 3 months.
I think for Arsenal to win the game, I think you're right, Mike. I think, it's not out of the realm of possibility that it's a 3-1 to City. I think for Arsenal to win the game, for me, it's got to be City have got to have a stinker of a game or a bad decision goes against us. Because I think if we turn up and play our game, like I've been saying, I just think we will win the game.
Or we don't convert our chances.
I think Arsenal would say the same, though. If Arsenal turn up and play their game like they've been playing, I think they'd say that if we do that, we'll win. I think City will win because I have faith in City. But to be fair, I always thought we were going to win in like 1980, 1988 when we played in the derby, or 1999 when we played in the derby. So, well, actually, we didn't that season.
Yeah, but Rich, you look at what
I've always had faith and always will.
Yeah, but you look at what Martin said. The Etihad has been a fortress. We haven't lost. What is it? 22 games, Martin?
No, 22 games in the league. We've not lost it. Yeah, in 15 months.
You see, being an old school City fan, I think the fact you keep mentioning these long records is putting an absolute curse on it and making it typical City.
Rick,
so I deliberately try never to mention such things.
I'm not having that.
Everything comes to an end.
All I read this week, Rich, are some Arsenal fans on other streams telling me they're coming to paste us, they're coming to give us a lesson, they're coming to do this, that, and the bloody other. And when I show them the chest back,
they told us that
you're telling me I'm thinking it.
No. I'm just saying.
We have treble winners. We have champions of the frigging world. We're the Super Cup winners. We're in a better bloody statistically better wise than we were last season. And all I get told is we're a bag of shit when we're actually performing better than we was last season when we won the treble. Someone
all you have to do is just chuckle and look knowingly and smugly at them, and then chat to them on Sunday after we've beaten them. That's just the social media world, the hyperbole.
You've just backed him.
No, I've just said we just need to be calm.
I
said he jinxed it, but that's superstition. That's not. I'm just saying. I just
Arsenal, Rich.
There's a difference.
I never.
And by the way, I don't mean to go because big up Igal. He came on with 5 other City fans. Not many people do that. I've been in that position with 5 Liverpool fans. It's not easy, believe me. So big up to Miguel for that. But Rich, here's my point. If City win on Sunday, you will get, trust me now, you will get, City were expected to win.
No, you won't. You'll get 150 charges. All right, Rich. Could be 120.
115. If Arsenal win, you won't hear the end of it for 5,000 years.
You will, because the Scousers will find a way to make it about them and get above Arsenal.
Rich, Liverpool are not in this at the moment. Liverpool are playing Brighton. Let them do what they need to do. We'll get to them.
I know, but
we are in the middle.
Martin, Liverpool are in everything. Liverpool are in everything. The world
Yusuf's
revolves
back.
around
We've talked about
Liverpool.
Liverpool. Yusuf has
Yeah.
joined. Where
The
you
world
been?
revolves around Liverpool, so we've got to accept
Don't
that
work on it.
City Arsenal will probably be about Liverpool.
No, but I just mean is I've heard so many City fans this season not having enough confidence in this team. And I don't know what this team has to do to gain fans' confidence. I don't know what they've got to do anymore.
Nothing. They won't
Win
gain it
5,000
because
every week.
Yeah, they won't gain it because, you know, we have City fans who say we've had an awful window before winning the treble. So
I'm not
what can we do?
If Arsenal beat us, 1,000%, they beat us. Because here's my point. For Arsenal to beat us at the Etihad, two things have to happen. We have to be really off colour, and Arsenal have to be top notch.
Now, see, that's one thing I do disagree. I think if Arsenal are top notch and we're just okay, I don't think we have to be off colour. I think we have to play well.
You know what I mean by
Arsenal.
okay and off colour?
I think,
It's the same thing, Rich.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Well,
Bloody hell, Rich. You're arguing on semantics tonight.
I think we need to play. I think we need to play at our best level. I don't think we can
City are
drop
at the best
off.
level and Arsenal at the best level. City win.
Yeah, but I'm saying I think we have to play at our best
this,
level.
And the other.
This
I
is
think
the
we have
time.
to play at
This
our
is the
best
time of
level.
the season where we start to play our best.
Yeah,
We are the late show.
Anyway,
Parallels to last season, doing exact same thing.
When Bernardo comes in,
had to play a big team in Liverpool, and we came out there and we wiped the floor with them, even without Haaland on the pitch. This is where the season truly starts.
Yes,
and I'm ready for it. I'm confident. And the other thing,
100%.
Why have we not talked about it either? The big one too. We should have mentioned it when Agal was on. Talking about the Emirates, there was no Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne has been an absolute scourge for Arsenal in the last few years. Absolute scourge.
No Rodri.
If he's running around the midfield again with all that free liberty of the full Etihad pitch, he'll put the fear of God into him.
Listen, at the end of the day, it's night. No, to me, and by the way, injuries, Edison's trained today, should play. Kanji trained today, should play. Walker 50-50. Stones probably out. Will be out. KDB, fine. Watch the videos. He was stretching, flying around, smiling around like an happy little Belgian creator. Jack Grealish fit. Nunez fit. So yeah, I would probably expect maybe Walker. I don't know, but you can cover Walker with a Kanja. Put a Kanja there, Diaz in there, Ake to left back, give Guardiola into centre back, Rodri, Kovacic, Foden on the left, Bernardo on the right, Kevin as number 10, and the big old Norwegian meat shield up top.
Yeah. I agree. I agree with that. I think it's too soon for Jack. I think we'll see Jack starting, maybe get some time off the bench, because I think we'll want Jack back as soon as we can. But I think for now, especially with Stones out, we're going to play Kovacic, and I think there'll be a recognition that hopefully Akanji will focus on his right side defence responsibilities rather than going into midfield, because Cover and Rodri can cover that.
Would anyone put Grealish in on that? Would anyone put Grealish in?
No, because no way is he match fit enough to come back in yet. He's not played for a year properly, so he's got to get eased back in. He's got to get half an hour off the bench, and get match fit. Well, he's out. He's been out for 12 months.
But I mean, if he is match fit, then I'd rather him play this match than play against Villa.
I don't think he starts either of them. I think he comes off the bench in both. I don't see how we can play him. If we play him, we've got to drop Foden or Kovacic. And if we drop Kovacic and play Foden and De Bruyne in midfield, we're going to have real risk in trying to dominate.
I'd rather drop Bernardo Silva than Foden.
He's gone, so we don't have racist little scumbags on this channel. So bye-bye, you go, boss.
Yeah, I think I just don't see Pep ever starting a big game without Bernardo, because Bernardo is the man who plays the flexible role and fills in the gaps.
I can't have Doku playing. I'd lose my shit if Doku played.
Kovacic, it'll be Kovacic and it'll be Foden and Bernardo.
I've got to be Kovacic.
If you're not going to have Grealish, I'd rather have Foden out there, because Foden would just spend the whole game just winding up Ben White, because from what I hear, they don't get along, do they? I'd rather have Foden out there trying to make Ben White's life an absolute.
Does anyone get on with Ben White? I don't hear.
The people at the tanning salon.
Yeah,
I think Grealish
putting all the kids through college.
A job.
I'm not slagging Doku off. I'm not slagging Doku off. I just said not for this game. Jesus Christ. We're not doing this, are we? I say he can't play. It means just shit. I never said that.
You said it, mine.
I wouldn't have Alvarez in this game. Doesn't mean that I think Alvarez is a bag of shit either. Get him out. Experiment time is over. It should be straight 11. Doku or Alvarez on the left. Look. Oh. Doku agenda. So I've never once got a Doku agenda. I'm not Alan.
The higher pitch you go, Martin,
the more agendaous it sounds.
Ozzy, would you play Grealish left?
Over Doku?
Over Foden.
Well, say my team.
Over Kovacic.
Over Kovacic. Because by the way, if you want Grealish, you're either gonna have to take Bernardo out or Kovacic out.
I would take Bernardo Silva out before I take out Foden or Kovacic.
Ooh. Now, I'm not that much of a hater on the fella.
No. Would you take? Question for you: would you play an unfit Grealish instead of Bernardo?
But Grealish is fit.
Yeah, but he's not match fit. He's not played properly match fit for 12 months. He's not been up to full match speed this season. So would you play a player who has not properly played for a year and start them in what you've said is the biggest game of the season, rather than a tried and tested legend of the club who's been arguably our best player in big games for 5 years?
Well, he hasn't played that well this season, Rich.
Yeah, but Bernardo is a big game player. He comes.
He's had some big games in the last few weeks,
big games.
Rich, and he hasn't turned up enough. For me,
so you would play Foden out of position on the right and drop Bernardo to accommodate an unfit Jack Grealish coming back in the team this weekend.
I think there is another player that you have missed out. We've all missed out, to be fair. Oscar Bob.
No, Ozzy. It's not the Community Shield, mate. It's not pre-season time.
I think Bob's done well, actually. I do.
Not for this, though. See what I mean? You won't play Oscar Bob against Real Madrid. You won't play him against Arsenal. Simple as. This is not experiment time.
No, I know it's not mine. I'm just kind of pulling your leg a little slightly.
Yeah, you're being a bit of a dick. We know. He just wanted to get his Oscar Bob tax in.
See, it's got to be done. I think going on to Pat's point, I think Grealish is so much better at getting fouled, getting the Arsenal players wound up enough that I can see him starting. I really can't. I mean, I don't know what anyone else thinks, but I just think he's that sort of player. I think he's just got a bit between the teeth as well. I think he really...
It'll be Kovacic not playing then, because I guarantee Pep starts Bernardo.
I don't think...
It'll be Kovacic won't play.
I think Kovacic will play, because I think the problem you've got is that because Stones is out, I just think the back four needs to be as settled as possible.
Yeah. Okay, let me really put a cat amongst the pigeons. Who plays centre back for his country?
Lewis Dunk. Although not everyone agrees with it, but Lewis Dunk plays centre back for his
Harry
country.
Maguire.
Certain Spaniard.
Sergio Ramos.
Dickhead. Why did we stop? Why did we
Yeah,
really put a
Fernando Hierro, yeah.
Why did we put Rodri at centre back?
Why?
Does it for Spain?
Why would you change a player?
I'm just saying,
never
if
played...
we've got these potential injuries.
But we're playing Arsenal, not Andorra.
Yeah, we've got a Kanji.
Hang on a minute. You want to get Kovacic in? You want to get Grealish in?
No.
I'm just saying.
No, I'm saying I don't want to get Grealish in. I think
No,
playing Grealish would be
Name me a game Gavardio's played centre back in.
But a Kanji and
just cup matches.
Diaz will start
Last
centre
one
back.
was, what was it,
Right?
Huddersfield?
Oh, so here's my point. You're going to play Aki at left back.
A Kanji and
Stones
Diaz
is out.
centre back.
No, Kanji will go right back because say Walker's out. Kanji
Depends
goes
on
right
who's,
back.
no, Martin, depends on who's marked up, because if Trossard's out there, I don't want Kanji because we've seen him do it to him before, run rings around him.
So you
I'd
play
rather have Walker. I said earlier in the show, I'd have
assuming Walker's fit.
Walker, Kanji, Diaz, and
say Walker's not fit. Say Walker doesn't.
If Walker's
then
not fit,
you got no
Ake
choice. You'd have to move a Kanji.
Ake plays centre back. Ake
So-
plays centre back, and Guardiola goes left back. And they all slot across to the right.
Ask Gavardio like he's not there. The guy
Well,
bloody Burnley.
No, Ake has to stay left back.
Jesus, Rich.
Gavardio plays well at centre back. I'd be okay with him there.
He's never played centre back for City, Pat Hardley.
No, but he's naturally a centre back, and when he's played there, he's played really well.
Sorry, if you had Gavardio against Saka, I'd just shut my eyes and hope for the damn best and go see you. Because Rich,
But you had the impression that I said Gavardio at left back. I said no.
Rich did.
I'd rather have Gavardio at left centre back.
And I watched the Burnley winger skin the shit out of Gavardio, and he wants to put him Bukayo Saka.
Guardiola might go centre back then, and Ake goes left back. But if we have to play Kanji right back, Guardiola's going to play.
I was just throwing something in there as a possibility.
Well, we may as well play. If we're going to just play someone who's never played there for us and take out our most important player from the position they play in for us and haven't lost in 59 games, which I've just jinxed us now, playing that position for City, then let's just play Haaland centre back if we're going to just do something
Why
silly.
is people saying get a life? Right, I'm asking the question on injuries, Pardo.
To be fair,
if there is no Walker and there is no Stones,
I think he
isn't
goes
going to play Rico at right back.
Yeah,
I think he goes to a back three. If Walker's not fit, I think he goes to a back three.
Jesus, who turned that? I asked the question.
Yeah, and I think it's a fair question, Martin. Because
Walker's
you're right.
only 50-50.
Yeah, and I think Walker will. I think if Walker's, even if he's 50-50, I think he'll want to play. He'll be good to play. He'll start. It just depends. Will he see the game out, or will a niggle happen? So, but I think if Walker isn't starting, I think Pep will go to a back three.
Okay, let me go around this. If Gavardio plays, where are you playing him, Ozzy?
I would probably play centre back, but I don't think Pep will do that because I think.
So who would he play then? You think he'd drop from that three?
I would think he would put Ake centre back and have Guardiola left back.
Let me put this question to you. I've just had a look at the
questions.
Yeah, no, I think he would do that, and we would see a Kanji, Diaz, and Ake playing as real out-and-out defenders, and Guardiola pushing up so that Ake was lifting a bit to the left.
Pardo, I will ask you this, Pardo, because you're having a pop at me, which is fine, it's your opinion. If Walker is out injured and Stones is out injured, who's your back line, Pardo? Because Rico won't be playing, mate. So tell me your back line, Pardo. because putting Gvardiol at centre back is a gamble, Pardo. Because like,
yeah, but it's not a gamble. It's not a gamble that upsets the entire team. Like Rodri starts in centre. Rodri starts in centre midfield. Rodri starts in centre midfield. Period.
Right.
I would play Haaland at centre back rather than move Rodri out of the heart of the team and to disrupt the entire way we play.
A question, because whether you like it or not, the Spain manager plays him as a centre back.
It doesn't matter. Spain, he's not vital. Honestly, playing Rodri centre back would be like playing Tom Brady wide receiver for the New England Patriots.
Gvardiol at left back. So Pardo, you trust Gvardiol against Bukayo Saka when he couldn't be trusted against the Burnley winger.
The flip side to that, Martin, is do you trust Kovacic to be the hub of the entire team?
No.
Do you trust Kovacic? Yes. Do you trust Kovacic to be the entire fulcrum of our team and dominate the game and be the midfield? Because if you put Rodri at centre back, you are not only disrupting
Spain like
centre backs, you're destroying the midfield. But Martin, we have won all those games at home because of Rodri in centre midfield. Honestly, it's like saying it's like playing Tom Brady wide receiver.
Because some of the games, Rodri's been 8.
So honestly, if we had, would you play Harry Kane left back for England? It's madness to say take Rodri out as the most important player in the team.
Last season, when we went to the Emirates, would you have guessed Bernardo at left back?
No, I wouldn't have guessed Bernardo.
Oh, who played left back, Rich?
But what's that got to do with? No. What has that got to do with taking our most important player and the fulcrum of our team out of position? Like, City are built around Rodri.
Does anybody remember who played left back when they played us at the Emirates at the Etihad last season? Akanji.
Yeah.
Ake didn't even start. It was Kyle Walker, John Stones, Ruben Diaz, and Manuel Akanji.
The Burnley game at home. Go back to the Burnley game at home, Pardo. We were 3-0 up. They brought on a winger. Was it Fofana?
Something like that, yeah.
And he absolutely ran past him like he wasn't there, Pardo, and they
scored.
What?
I'd rather start Gomez left back than take Rodri out of the field.
Listen, everyone, before they're all coming at me, it's a debate. I'm asking a question. Because our whole right-hand side of our defence may not be available. So you're going to have to tweak stuff around. The reason I'm asking about Gvardiol is everyone's typing away here. If the reason I'm asking about Gvardiol at centre-back is Pep's not done it except against Huddersfield. There is a reason why. He's even benched him and played him at centre-back this season. So there must be something Pep's not seeing in Gvardiol at centre-back. And I agree. Someone said why sign him.
Yeah, but which is why Ake will play. Which is why Ake will play centre-back if that happens and Gvardiol will play left-back.
Like, if I'm right, do you know why City bought Gvardiol? Because he's a 10-year player. People are judging Gvardiol too early. It's like Braithwaite. There's a reason why the club are interested in Braithwaite. Because they see him as the perfect Stones replacement in the end. And he's homegrown.
But I just don't, the way we play our defence, you start.
It was like something I said that when Rodri's actually played for Spain.
But
not just once, by the way.
Ake, Diaz and Akanji with Gvardiol left back, and Gvardiol can push up a bit, and the defence slides slightly to the left, and you've got, Ake covering behind Gvardiol. I think that's what happens. But I actually think Walker start. I think Walker will be fit. Walker will start, and we'll see Akanji and Diaz.
Yeah, that's fine. Then no problem. I was only a question. No, I'm not saying Gvardiol shit. I'm saying he needs time to build. Defensively this season, Gvardiol has not been great when he's played. That's factual because it's his first year. He's a young lad. He needs to develop.
Same thing with John
John
Stones.
Stones in his first season. The point I'm making is this is the most important game right now of the season, and we're possibly going into gamble mode. All right, I'll even throw a bigger scenario out. Say Akanji has a breakdown tomorrow, and you've no Akanji, no Walker, and no John Stones. Am I crazy now?
So have we gone through who's definitely playing, who we think our lineups are going to be?
How's it madness? Gee, I don't understand how it's madness. Jesus Christ. Right, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll do happy clappy stuff to make everyone happy. So what we'll do is Gavardio centre-back. He's played there 20 times this season. Putting Gavardio at centre-back is no risk whatsoever. That's why Pep's played in there.
Martin, you're going down a wormhole here. No one's saying that it's not without risk.
Regular occurrence.
But honestly, we're comparing two risks here. The risk of taking
injuries, mate. Injuries.
No. Martin, what people are saying is not that Guardiola playing isn't without any risk. What they're saying is that moving Rodri out of midfield and upsetting the entire way the team plays is 20 times bigger a risk than playing Guardiola left back. You know, you're upsetting every part of our play, attack, defense, midfield, and the secret to our success. You're blowing that up because of a much smaller risk of Guardiola playing left back. That's all people are saying. They're not saying it's not without risk. They're saying
nobody moaned at me then if you play left back and second mauls him and then you all go,
yeah.
No,
imagine
one negative comment after that then.
Yeah. But if you were manager and we played Rodri centre back, we'd probably lose 4-0, and then we'd be moaning at you because we'd be like, that's the worst we've played for years. What are we doing?
Don't want to throw me FA coaching badges on the table here, mate.
Oh yeah, because
But we can if you want here, pal.
So okay, can you tell me where in your FA qualification they taught you that taking your best player out of their best position and interrupting the entire team because you're a bit worried about the left back? Which course was that on?
Rich, it was a question.
Which course was that on?
Can I speak?
Yeah.
It was a question for the show that we're debating because right now potentially 75% of our defenders are out.
75% now. We've got
potentially
6. We've got 6 and 2 might be out. That's 33%.
So Rich is putting Sergio Gomez in now to be a clever dick.
No. Rich is putting in Guardiola left back
to be a clever dick now.
I'm saying I would play him ahead of... No. I would play Gomez left back rather than take Rodri out of midfield. I'm saying taking Rodri out of midfield would possibly be the stupidest decision Pep could make in the game. And I would play Haaland bloody in a different position rather than take Rodri out of midfield.
This amount of time on the position.
No, listen. I'm never bringing it up again. But when Pep does a Pep and throws Bernardo to left back in one of the biggest games away last season, but I'm the mad one.
Bernardo plays everywhere. Rodri plays 6/8 and does in every game. Bernardo's played right wing, left wing, centre midfield, left back, false 9. Bernardo plays everywhere. Because you came up with a mad idea.
And Bernardo at left back against Arsenal away last season wasn't a mad idea.
That is a lot less dangerous than changing.
It's not, because Bernardo's never played left back and Rodri's played centre back on numerous occasions for one of the best international teams in the world.
Martin, if you've watched City play, which Martin, if you cannot see how central
Wales,
Martin, if you cannot see, Martin, you are going down
Euros.com.
Why? How can a City fan who's watched City argue that Rodri at centre midfield is not our most important player? I don't think you'll find another City fan in the world who's going to say, let's upset our entire team.
Let's move on. I'm trying to have fun because I'm trying to change it. Let's move on. Jesus. I am never asking a question again. I'm never doing this. But I tell you what, next time Pep does imagine us, you better have your phone off.
If he bloody does it now, If he moves
I'll
Rodri
let
to
you know
centre
now.
back,
Well, I was
Yeah.
going to say later on. Walker's on a fitness test before the game. Stones is fully out. Akanji, they're not sure.
Yeah.
So there
Yeah.
you go, mate.
but if he plays Rodri centre back, then and we win, then phone me up. If he doesn't play Rodri centre back, and it doesn't work, then it's a non-conversation.
Listen, I agree. By the way, I agree Rodri's best position is CDM. I'm not saying he isn't.
Is it safe to come back yet? Does anybody know?
Carry on. Right, by
Is
the
it
way,
safe,
right.
Pat?
Just give me your score predictions
I
because we're
don't know.
moving on. I want to do 20 minutes or something else and we're moving on. Well,
Somebody
Nick-
do score predictions on this channel.
Point I'm making is Bernardo was a one-off at left back. Rodri's played centre back for his country numerous occasions and played well. So which
Do you
one's more
think-
of a risk?
Would you build? Yeah, the risk is then you've got to put Kovacic in to run midfield on his own. That is just suicide.
Are we still on this, Pat?
I might say I've missed
It is
super chats and all sorts. Right. Douglas, thank you for being a member for 1 month. Appreciate that. And Amar, thank you. Do apologise, I missed these. Why could Rodri not do the Stones role has for Spain? This is my point, but I get called madness.
He
I'm
could
crazy.
do it
I'm
because he could-
insane.
because who then does the Rodri role?
Kovacic.
No one. Kovacic can't do the Rodri role. We've
Then
seen.
what did we
We've seen.
sign him for then, Rich?
We signed him to possibly play
Right, Rich,
alongside
I'm going to
Rodri.
explain this to you right now.
Yeah.
Right? When Kovacic plays, Rodri doesn't play 6, mate. He plays 8.
He
Guess
plays
where
6
Kovacic
slash 8.
is?
Yeah,
And by the way,
Yeah.
I've brought up numerous heat maps on
But
this, Rich.
it's still
Kovacic is
everything goes
6.
through him, and everything still goes through him.
Jesus. That's why Rodri's got
Everything.
18 goals and assists this year, Rich. Because he's playing far more advanced. Anyway, let's move on. Score predictions. Jesus Christ. I'm never, ever, ever mentioning anything ever again when we get injuries.
Apart from the fact that Gareth Southgate's now the English Roberto Martinez because he's absolutely dog shit and man manager.
It's not my fault Stones got injured in the first 10 minutes.
Oh,
And it
it's
ain't
so
my
your
fault.
fault, Martin.
No.
It's all
What did
your
I just say? I
fault.
just said that's all on Gareth Southgate, not you. But
No, it's
By the
not,
way,
Pat.
by the way,
It's all
Get
on-
your,
it's all
FA,
on
get your
Ryan.
FA training badges. That's
Thank you.
fine. All
By
I'm
the way,
saying is
this is
Gareth
the manager
Southgate is now
role.
on a level with Roberto Martinez as an
Do you know what?
absolute
Harder when
balls to the
everyone thinks
wall,
I'm Charlotte.
dickhead
Think
man
I'm
management manager. Yeah,
Rich,
crap. And I'm not even an
let me
England fan.
take you back. I'm going to die on this hill. Let me take you back to the Champions League final 2 years ago, mate. Let's go all the way back. Because Pep doesn't do a madness.
3 years.
Let's go back.
So you're going to make a
Do we have to
brilliant
go
point
back
here.
that far?
What
Do we not
happens
just
when
stick
we
to the
play a big
future?
game without Rodri in centre
We get
midfield?
beat.
Is what? Yeah, because we didn't have Rodri in centre
But
midfield.
Rich,
Yeah, thank you.
You're
Point
presuming
made.
Pep
Remember the days where we
You're
had
presuming Pep
Fernandinho?
learns, mate.
Love Fernandinho.
Yeah, Pep's learned that you don't not
Pep
play
doesn't
Rodri
learn.
in centre
If
midfield.
he hadn't learned, he wouldn't have played those 5 games basketball, football. He'd have learned after Chelsea away.
It's okay.
He wouldn't walk
I-
into Tottenham and do the same thing.
No, I'm all for. I think that's I'm all for just totally blowing up the way we play and going for something completely new in the biggest game of the season, and throw away the league. Yeah.
Well, he did last year against Arsenal. He went route 1. In
Yeah,
the
but he
FA
didn't
Cup,
play
he
Ro-
went route 1.
He didn't go. Let's play Rodri centre back.
No, what
and
he went was, I'll
play
take a beat
Kovacic
the ball
centre
to Haaland,
midfield.
please.
Yeah, it worked in the FA Cup final. Beauty.
Oh, so Pep doesn't change things.
Oh, I thought we were
according to
moving
Rich.
on.
Right, just get
Yeah,
your
let's
score
say that I-
Had me convinced.
We've been moving on for the last half an hour.
because Rich has got this stick up his ass. I asked the question, and Rich is like, Pep doesn't change things around.
No, I didn't say that. I said that
Comparing
it
you
would be
like
madness
a
that.
dog
to
with a
move
bone
Rodri.
marrow.
There we go again.
No,
Oh,
no,
Oh,
this is my point.
Jesus.
People want to be clever dicks in the chat. Charlotte, I didn't compare mine. I compared mine to Rich's. Rich's, not Pep's.
Yeah. But Martin, I could compare my academic record to yours and say I'm just cleverer and therefore
Course you
my
could,
opinion
Rich.
counts more. It's rubbish.
We're doing that.
What
Oh, hang on a
matters?
minute. I'm
What
gonna
matters?
stick
No,
my
no.
degrees down on
What
the
matters
table.
is watching
Rich,
football,
Rich,
watching
don't do that, 'cause
football,
I've
and
got
having
2 degrees, mate.
opinions.
I've got 2 degrees. So we're playing that game.
Yeah, and 6 A levels. Yeah. Now, come on, just stop being silly. It's utterly irrelevant. You've got an opinion on a football matter, which I think's wrong, and it doesn't have to become a matter of hubris and like I've got a coaching badge and therefore I know better than anyone else involved in the show.
No,
It's not true.
Rich.
We've got an
You made the
opinion.
comment of
Rodri
you made
is
the comment
central.
of what I said is stupid.
Everybody in the
Rodri,
chat,
yeah,
please
well,
tell
I
these
do
two to
think
move on.
it would be a bit, but yeah, let's move on. Ozzy,
So
what's the
Pep
next
does it.
topic? What's your prediction, Ozzy?
That's stupid. Let him know that.
So I think 2-1 to see.
I'll never
my
say
prediction.
anything again, Rich. You
2-1.
run the shows in future. You know what you're doing.
Just I'm saying.
Clapper.
Oh God, what's Happy Clappy about?
I asked one frigging
Something-
question and I get mauled and called every
Ozzy,
day.
how do you think the game's going to go? I'm going 2-1 City. Ozzy, what do you think?
I'm just waiting for this to be over.
I asked one question.
2-1.
City,
Not
I
over
was
yet.
on fucking end all week to get abused by our own community. Lovely, that, innit?
Two-1. Haaland and Rodri. Pat, how's it going?
3-1 for me. 3-1
Yeah,
for me.
I'm-
Kevin with a couple, just like last time.
I'm going for 3-1. I think it'll be. I think Kevin, and I think Foden. With an assist from Haaland.
Foden. So we're pretty confident then. Martin, do you think City's going to win? 3-1, you said?
Don't care.
3-1. 2-1. 2-1. City win.
I ask a question and I get abused. And it was really nice. Work my fucking ass off and I get abused.
Martin, no one's abusing you. They just don't agree on that question. And I
didn't say don't agree.
Well, I think it's madness. What can I say?
But
we're not going to do it. I've had some madness suggestions over the years. What was the last 20 minutes topic?
About City having 500 million to spend in the summer because of the new FFP.
Is that who's calculated it?
It's come out in all the documents.
Wow.
It just sounds like another rewording of like the whole war chest thing at the end of every season. City have got a £300 million war chest. It just sounds like another wording of that for me.
It's probably true, but it doesn't mean we want to spend it because
we'll believe it when you see it. Yeah,
I'm sure the shape.
How much
is
did we
quite
win?
happy
Like
getting money.
for the treble,
because it's like
and we've barely spent that money.
Well, think about it. The last time we've had an absolute splurge out was before the Centurion season.
Yeah.
Something like this, 220 to 250 million pounds of players.
Yeah,
and a lot of that.
The press have been,
yeah.
Ozzy, the press have been a bit dishonest about how they've talked about that 300 million for winning everything because we got about 270 of that the season before. So it's really only 30 million up on what we normally got. And to be honest, I think we had to pay out 50 million in bonuses to the team. So actually,
but
what we lost by winning the treble was
revenue and sponsorships and stuff like that as well.
Yeah. No, but it wasn't 300 million on top. It was just an improvement on what we got the year before. But I've got no doubt we could probably spend 500 million, because that's 100 million on the, amortization over 5 years.
Think we haven't really, like as Pat said, we haven't really had a massive splurge in the market. We signed Grealish for 100 million, but we haven't really kind of like done a massive splurge since Centurions. So I think we're due one.
I mean, we spend well every summer, but when you think of like astronomical sort of money, it hasn't been since, when you had Walker and Bernardo, and you just, what was, like I said, it was like up to like £250 million or something with the players.
Yeah, I mean, there was something we were talking about before we started, and like we were saying about certain players that maybe either coming back or players that City are looking at seriously. And one of the players that I mentioned to the guys was Jacob Wright, currently playing really well. And I think, Pep has seriously taken a strong, hard look at him, kind of like he did with Rico Lewis. And I think he's in for a serious shout at being on the summer tour. So I'm really looking forward to seeing where he goes. Rumours of Sane, which obviously Martin loves. But for some of us,
we'll get overexcited all summer, Aussie.
I think it'll be. I'm on that Sane train already.
Yeah,
like
because it's Sane, I can't help but allow myself to just get in the hype train again.
Yeah, it's just so easy, though, isn't it, Pat? Just to think, wouldn't it be fantastic? Because for me,
you just but you just, if he does come, you hope it's not a repeat of young Sane. It's a more mature, ready to play, ready to do a duty for the club sort of Sane. Because I think he we forget now he's 29 years old, 29 years old.
Yeah,
it feels like yesterday he left the club.
Yeah. Do you think it's time we sign some fullbacks again? Because it seems to me we haven't had fullbacks or signed any for years.
I don't think we will.
I mean, the whole talk about Jan Couto and Gutierrez and everything all seems still quiet down now. So
Frimpong?
Frimpong.
I mean, he started in the academy, didn't he?
But to me, it sounds like if Alonso's staying at Leverkusen, he's going to do everything in his power to try and keep a lot of those players. Especially if they sell Wirtz. If they sell Wirtz, he's going to do everything to try and keep his more than likely Bundesliga title winning team around.
Isn't Wirtz staying? I thought Wirtz had kind of hinted he was staying for a year.
I think
the problem is that it screams of a Bayern monopoly, playing the politics and German football card again, where they'll find a way to get him on some big money or something like that. Or
he's still young enough to stay there.
This whole thing has come from Kieran Maguire, who is apparently a financial advisor.
Yeah, he is, and it's probably true, because 500 million.
He said the exact wordage was City can spend. It's big in the transfer market on a consistent basis, and they're not worried about making profit. Said City broke the Premier League record 22-23 with total revenue of 713 million. These are due to the new profit and sustainability rules, which is going to be brought in on the same basis as the way UEFA use them, on a drift down of 85% of your revenue. And if City are making that 730 million, well, 85% of it is 500 million. That's where it's come from.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Include wages. Does include now.
Yeah,
with the players we've been linked with, the players I've been told we're going after, you could easily get to 500 million.
Yeah, and what's the
85? Bruno Guimaraes is 100 million, so there's 185 million before you've even touched base. That's on two players. You're at 100. You're virtually at, with wages then, you're at over 200 million on two players.
So is it a 500 million is what wages? Is it what wages, transfer fees, amortization and agents fees or something that make up that 500 million? And what did we spend last year? We must have spent about 500 million because weren't our wages 400 million last year?
Oh, sorry, that's the 70% cap as well, not at 85.
Yeah.
So even that's at 70. So at 85, it would actually be more than that.
Yeah, because I bet you we had 500 million
Working
last year. Because
what's 713? I'm gonna have to do a quick maths there. 713 divided by 100, 71.3 times that by 8. Yeah, I'm sorry, you're at that. You're actually at 570 million. You can actually go to, if you're sorry, no, it's 80%. You're at over 600 million if you go to the 85%.
And what were we last year? About 550?
250. No, but we brought in money.
No, because this isn't how much you can spend. This is the P&L cost in the year.
It's everything. Everything.
Yeah. That's the P&L cost of salary.
So look, for an example, Kylian Mbappe's signing on fee would even have to be now included. So really, a free transfer no longer becomes a free transfer because it's still got to go into your books. Because instead of you signing on fee going into the club, it's going to the player, which technically still counts as wages.
Hence why they're talking about Mbappe getting like 150 million.
Yeah,
euros
it's really, it's very. Yeah. I don't know. So this is why I think Bernardo would leave, because Bernardo's release clause is 50. João Neves' release clause is 100. If you said to Benfica, Bernardo Silva and 50 million, you saved yourself 50 million. If that makes sense. Does that make sense?
You
understand what I'm
saying? Sooner or later, João Neves is out the door at Benfica because if he keeps on this trajectory, Benfica won't be able to afford his wages. They might as well just cash in now while they can.
Yeah, and we've got a really good relationship.
I think he wants to go to Bayern. Wants to go to Real Madrid.
Yeah, Davies is definitely. Sure as the sun shines tomorrow, there's going to be.
They're looking at Braithwaite because there are concerns on Stones' injury record, and he's a Stones ready-made player in their opinion.
But I have heard as well they're also looking at I can't remember if he's French, but he just played in the French league. We were linked with him like a few months back, and apparently City scouts have been watching this kid. Apparently, like he really is. He's a left-sided centre back, which is something we've missed since Laporte left.
Well, no,
I can't remember his name. I'm sure he's French. You're sorry?
We've got Gvardiol. Gvardiol is basically your left-sided replacement for Laporte.
Well, I mean, he's playing left back though at the moment.
No, I understand that, but I think Gvardiol's Pep's played Gvardiol there a majority of the time because he probably wouldn't be able to get in ahead of. He probably doesn't get in ahead of Ake and Diaz and Stones.
Yeah, but I think they're more likely to bring in another centre back than they are to bring in a left or right back.
Yeah.
See, they said the team doesn't need 500 mil investment. 200 mil doesn't get you a lot anymore because Piquet is 85. Rodri cover, you're looking at 80 million.
Unless it's Kimmich.
Kimmich in his last season, Brian will still try and force 60 million. You're still going to be
60, 70 mil.
Yeah.
Plus, you got to remember.
And Brian don't like doing business with us.
Bruno, it balances out because you say you brought in Bruno for 100 mil, but you brought Kimmich in for 70. Kimmich's wages are going to be doubled than what Bruno's wages are.
I still don't think City are going to spend that kind of money on Kimmich.
But I just spending 100 mil on Bruno then.
I think they'd rather sign Bruno at that price rather than buy Kimmich.
This has always been the question for me. If we did get Kimmich, what sort of wages would he be on? Because I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't see us equaling his buying wages. What's his buying wages? Like 360,000 euro a week or something.
He'll be gone.
Yeah.
They won't. I just can't see.
I have got an update on Kimmich.
Oh, don't forget too, by the way, if Southampton get promoted, we get automatically 20 million because they have an obligation to buy Taylor Albabelis.
I don't think they're going to be anywhere near it, mate.
Are they still in the top 6?
Yeah, but they're not in a great form, I don't think. But
No, but they can still get to the playoffs.
yeah, they can, but I don't.
I wouldn't
don't
rule
think
them
they will.
completely out, but who knows?
Because I think I expect Leeds and Leicester will be the two to come up.
Yeah.
The trouble is, I don't know where they're going to go with this. This sort of thing. The news I got was Kimmich was no longer in the top 3. João Neves had gone ahead of him. Bruno had gone ahead of him. Who was the other one? Again, Douglas Luiz, but they were quoted again 95.7 million, 95.8 million. This is the problem. Whoever you get to come, because we need to come out of this term of Rodri back up.
And
It won't be a
saying
backup.
no, it won't be, because I don't think I think you're going to fight Pep and the club are going to want someone who is so versatile that he can play as a 6 and an 8. I think that is what you're going to get.
He wants utility mids. That's what he wants. He wants utility.
Yeah,
mids.
because and to be honest, we haven't really signed a midfielder really that is actually challenging in the first 11.
Well, we haven't signed midfielders that just one-trick ponies either.
Dan said Bruno not come in.
Yeah.
Well, Pep likes him.
He gets yellow cards every game.
Bruno frustrates me because he plays some really good games against other opposition, and then when we face him, he's either bang average or he just tries to he does everything to try and get a red card.
João Neto is it? Who's the guy at Wolves?
Pedro Neto.
Pedro Neto, no.
Pedro Neto. He's going further down because they have major concerns on his injuries.
Made a biscuit set. I'm sorry, quality, but
it was the other one. That's right. But like I said, the Sane thing has come more from Sane.
Yeah, it come more from his wife, hasn't it?
Yeah, to put it bluntly, this news I got, his wife was like, we moved back to Germany, or you might be on your own.
Yeah, these
women are going to stop bossing these.
Gotta love an ultimatum or two.
Stop bossing these ultimatums out.
Obviously, Tammy's out of the room right now, isn't she, Martin?
But the other thing I got was Pep. The board were more keen on Sane than Pep was. As we know, Pep doesn't always forgive and forget very easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also Doku wasn't a Pep signing, so and look how much played.
I think I can speak on behalf of that 95% of the fan base. They'd all love that Sane back.
When they're not getting off the Sane.
I don't see it now.
No, just for love of the bloke. Yeah. Love the bloke.
Yeah, it's the club with Sane.
Yeah, I don't. I don't
Sane's wife.
see where he plays now. Maybe we could do a wife swap deal. You know, Bernardo's wife goes and lives with Sane.
Thank you. That was the other one.
Sane's wife comes and lives with Bernardo.
There has been also major interest.
Footballers' wives.
Ezzy at Palace is one. Wonks is homegrown. But they were quoted over 80 million, I got told. Reza. This is my problem. So I think someone was at Crypto and Benpay. This is the problem. You're not going to get anyone in cheap. You're not going to get a 20, 30 million.
Unless they're in their 30s, yeah.
And also, I just think it makes more sense to go abroad because at the moment, the money's in the Premier League, and to buy from other Premier League clubs, you're whacking another 30 million on top of what you think you're going to pay. So I think it makes more sense to go to Benfica.
I don't know what is it. What he says his injury record.
He's okay. It's Elise that has the dodgy.
Yeah.
I just need to know: are any of these all right with Rich? Or are they going to be played out of position?
Oh, for God's sake!
Rich
I've
gone a bit off Sane.
Yeah.
I've gone a bit off Sane. You know that. It's probably
that's his release clause, Caribbean.
I'd have had Sane last summer, but no, I'm not sure about this one. I don't really want Bruno. I think,
Pep does though.
Paquetá's a better big game player than Bruno.
Rich don't bring both in.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure I'd be bringing in both.
I have said
do
before they're after 2 midfielders, aren't I?
Yeah.
All right, just looking at Aberieze's injury history.
Like I said, I always say supportedly and
Not a lot of
transfers can
reports,
change
but
at
there has
last
been a
minute.
few long days there. So he was
Isn't he
no, that's 3 days. He had a knock. No,
26?
2021 he had a
I've had a
Achilles
text.
tendon. He had Achilles tendon. He was out for
I've had a text.
more than 6 months.
It's João or Bruno, not both.
João Neves.
Or Bruno.
See, João Neves
Oh,
just
yeah.
makes more sense to me.
I would go João Neves over Bruno.
Guys, I saw João Neves play when I was in Lisbon a few months back. It was the Champions League game against Inter. And even though the score was 3-0 and they drew the game 3-3 after being 3-0 down at half time, that wasn't on João Neves. He was just everywhere in the midfield that day. He was just picking up the ball he was picking the ball up from the back. He was arriving in the box when they were attacking. He was just everywhere. And I don't know if it's everyone's cup of tea, but just like a Rodri, he was running around with his shirt tucked in. So yeah, look, the kid looks very, very, very good.
The message of
and you've got to have faith in Benfica's system because they're basically a Portuguese Borussia Dortmund. Just the way that they bring in new players, and that's how they keep cooking the books so well because they find this talent for a penny and then sell them on for millions.
Yeah, and I would seriously, but you're trying to pinch their scouting network.
Well,
Like I said, Pat, they do amazingly well at bringing these players through.
Sorry, can I just put it for the record too? I've been talking about, even since the start of this season, I've been talking about Bernardo and João Neves.
No,
some of you bloody cut me off and said no. Alan kept whinging about the bloody wages and the wages. I know. But I've been calling it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going to take that one.
I'm going for Bernardo stays and João Neves comes in and he spends a year learning from Bernardo.
Hang on, so here's a question, Rich. I don't want to get into another debate with you, mate, but we're gonna do it.
Oh.
Bernardo only signed a 1-year extension. His contract is up in 2026. He has a release clause right now of 50 million quid. Going into that last year, he'll get him for less than 50, generally. What makes you think he don't move in the summer? Because he isn't going to sign a new extension.
Just before you do, though, the 1-year extension, was it a 1-year extension or did they just wipe his contract and re-sign a new one for 3 years? That's the thing, because if you're extending for 1 year, then for him to get the increase in salaries, you have to renege your contract. You have to redo your contract. If you're going to get a salary increase like that, you have to redo your contract.
Was he already out 2026?
No, it's 2025.
Yes,
but the 1-year extension. But to get a 1-year extension plus increase your wages from this season onwards, wouldn't he have to completely wipe his current contract at the time and re-sign a new contract?
No, they just up it, add his wages on, and they put the release clause in.
But in effect, it's the same thing, though, isn't it? Because you're basically renewing your contract. You're basically re-signing a brand new contract.
It's a way, as Rich.
Well, you're agreeing to an extension on top
it's
of what
a way
you've
of
already
legally upping
both
his
in terms of wages and the length of contract.
It's the legal
so
way.
It depends on which way you look at it. Yeah.
No,
but Pat,
legally,
there's no difference.
In the Premier League.
Yeah.
There's no.
Just depends how you want to look at it. Yeah.
If you've got a contract, you can sign an addendum or an update to a contract that changes the terms of the contract back to now.
Yeah.
And in many ways, that is no different to signing a new contract with those terms and saying it's new. I mean, administratively, you'd have to register it differently, slightly, but it's the same legal thing. So in all intents and purposes, it doesn't matter whether he extended a year and signed an addendum changing the terms or signed
for the release
clause.
It's
the same. It's the same thing, though.
Maybe I just see it different because some other sports are similar ones
that's
too.
The point. It was all around. This is why I think he is going, because it was all to register the release clause up with the FAs and the Premier League.
Okay.
Because you have to register them all with the Premier League so they know who's on what, how, when, and who, and in you go. Because there's no negotiation. You go in, deposit, see ya.
Well, if the player says yes, the player says
yes. So with Suarez, Suarez.
So, Martin, you wanted me to ask about Aberieze's injury history. It's pretty small. The only thing is, though, back in 2021, he did miss nearly 6 months with an Achilles. However, the Achilles did happen towards the end, basically at the end of the 2020-2021 season. So of those 6 months, he spent half of it off season anyway.
And on Julie's point, a release clause can be negotiated down. Like most of the Spanish players, I mean, some of the Spanish players have $1 billion release clauses that no one's ever going to get. But you can go and offer 80 million. If the club accepts, you can still do a deal. It just means if someone puts $1 billion down and the player wants to go, the club cannot stop them.
No, Julie's absolutely right, because his release clause was 90 million euro and they agreed to 65 because Benfica coming out of COVID were strapped for cash.
Sorry, I missed this.
But City weren't willing to go to 90 million for him.
Sorry, I missed this. I do apologise. Thank you for your £2. So generous, mate. Pep put Yaya at centre back in Champions League final too. But we're not going back to that debate.
Don't.
If you see Rick.
Don't you go there, sister.
Yeah, I would say that is an irrelevant point because he didn't put Busquets, Xavi, or Iniesta.
Oh, for God's sake.
So Yaya was off the bench at that time. But
anyway, by the way, bit of news I got as well. They are going to start looking at goalies next week.
What? Oh, just in case?
Ortega's been offered 3 renewals, turned them all down.
Oh, wow, okay.
Can't do the
He wants
He's too good to be a backup.
He doesn't
the
want
question is,
though,
how much?
It'd be
interesting to see how much. It'd be interesting to see
That's
how
that
much.
argument.
How much we get offered for him? Because if someone comes and offers 40 million for him, they sell. But if someone comes and offers 10, I reckon we keep him for a year. I reckon he's worth more to us. 10 million paying for him for a season as a backup's worth more to us than getting the fee.
I mean, you get 40 million. You'd get 40 million.
Oh yeah, but he's still got a year left, hasn't he? He's still got a year left.
Yeah.
On his contract.
I'll tell you what, if the Premier League club came in for him,
can I ask a question? Because I love this for some fans. Players are allowed to say what they think they want to do, you know.
Well, but we always give them a say, and I think that's the thing at the beginning. We need to be a bit. I think we can be a bit harder.
No, Rich, are you just trying to argue with me tonight?
That's the Bernardo point. We've allowed
Midfielders don't have a say on whether they can start at centre back.
Pep has always said, if a player wants to go, we'll let them go. He's always said that.
There you go.
Ortega wants
to go. Ortega wants to go. You and Alan need to make peace on Bernardo. Go and have a prayer for him. Go and if you
that's fine,
do whatever you need to do, get to grips with
Bernardo
not being in
Bernardo wants to go. If Bernardo wants to go, he can go.
And by the way, someone
to be honest though, if Bernardo leaves and João Neves comes in, oh my God, you thought Nunes was under Alan's magnifying glass. João Neves is going to be under it for his entire City career.
Benfica pay some hefty wages.
Yeah, what we'll learn when Bernardo goes though is just how he's been far more important to City than 99% of City fans realise, and how he's been every bit as important as De Bruyne and Gundo, possibly more. I think he is criminally underrated by City fans and his importance to the team.
I've always said he deserves first team football, and I would not have a go at him if he walked out the door. At least he's not tried to leave for the last 4 years like somebody else who, for some weird reason, can never, ever, ever be criticised because he's too good and he can beg to leave. You can catch him in bed with your missus, whatever you want. You'd make him a cup of tea and tuck him in and tell him he's a god. And I love Bernardo, but this absolute gushing, he can do no wrong, could get sent off 5 times, score 3 own goals, and you and Alan would still come on and go, but he's Bernardo.
Yeah, he's Bernardo. It's like David Silva. David Silva could do no wrong. The name's Silva. It's a Silva thing. We need to sign another Silva. If Bernardo goes, I say we scour world football for the best Silva, and we sign it.
You know why I think
we need a Silva.
just said he's got the release clause and he's only got a contract till 2026.
And they're like David Silva and Bernardo Silva. They're like little teddy bears. Not only are they brilliant, they're just like little teddy bears.
Due to come back, West Ham will probably not sign him. Surprise, surprise.
Let's hope Leeds go
our
up.
main hope is that Leeds get
Leeds go up. Leeds
go up. He'll go back. Yep.
Don't be surprised to see Cancelo and Phillips on the US tour.
I thought Cancelo was,
doesn't mean they're playing now.
Yeah.
Cancelo will never play a competitive game for Manchester City again.
Oh, Martin, you and I are watching the Orlando game. Phillips and Cancelo are on the pitch. We're not going to be paying attention to anything they do.
I'm getting one of them beer hats, and then I'm going to go, Rich is always right on the front of it. And have a drink every time it gets sad.
Should have got 2 separate tickets. Anyway, you do you, Martin.
Look, Rich, I'm with you. Bernardo could kick my brother down the stairs, and I'd thank him. What is it? I'd
probably Rich, if you came home and you found Bernardo in bed with your wife, which side would you get in?
What's a Silva done to get? Yeah. Silva's getting away with mass murder now. What is going on?
It would be. Do you want a red? Would you like a glass of a red or white wine, Bernard, sir?
Bernard, please stop humping my missus. Why? Because I'd like to get you a glass of Chardonnay while you have a little refreshment. Sorry.
No, because I'd like to have a little chat with you in the kitchen over a beer.
Yeah. Forget my wife's naked in the bed with you, though, but that's all right. We'll have a chat about football.
Just sign the shirt on the way out, okay?
Yeah. What's that? You want me slippers as well? Take my pajamas and my house coat. And it's a house coat. Anyone who calls it a dressing gown, get in the bin. You're northern, it's a house coat. It's a coat you wear in the house. You're not posh. Stop trying to be posh with a dressing gown. It's a house coat. It's a coat you wear in the house, keeps you warm. If you're Mancunian, it's a house coat. Behave on the dressing gown.
Dressing gown.
Dressing gown. Do you think you are Victorian posh? Oh, I'm just going to have my dressing gown.
Alan does. Different time of Victorian.
I prefer to wear my velvet smoking jacket. So
here we go. It's a smoking jacket. Hit that in the comments. Is it a house coat?
Spot on the unbelief.
Yeah,
it's got to be a nice maroon
Rich.
Velvet. Yeah.
Your wife knows when you're home in the middle of the night because you can see all the static electricity.
Do you know the weird thing with stones? I got told it's anything from literally a week up to a month, depending on how severe it is. So he could even be back for Villa, but then he may not be back till Palace, but then he may not be back till 2 or 3 games after. It's a real thing because the thing is, they couldn't scan because of swelling. That looked dodgy, didn't it? Me sat there doing that because of swelling. I was trying to show where the injury was. Dirty-minded people, because of swelling, so they couldn't do the scan initially. Walker will have a scan tomorrow, and he's also then due to have a fitness test before the game. One thing I will say: don't expect a big update tomorrow. Pep's probably going to straight bat a lot of the answers away. Or will give you what you already think you know of. Well, their doubts. We'll see how they are in training.
Yeah.
You're not going to get anything new probably in tomorrow's presser. Alain Finch's car, is he back? What? According to Rich, I'm a thicko.
No, I just said you're not Pep.
I never said I was Pep. This is what I mean. Where I was comparing my coaching badges to you, not to Pep. It's like me telling you that I'm a better financial person than you. I'm not.
You probably are.
I'm not. The same way you're not a better teacher than me. Because that's why we all have qualifications.
Oh,
Is
that
wood a
note,
problem, Martin? Watch out for split. What? Is wood a problem for you?
Oh,
well,
Chris Wood.
Chris Wood is.
Chris Wood, no.
Oh,
Chris Wood is definitely a big
Yeah.
issue
I
for
thought you'd
mine.
been
Yeah.
talking to my
Yeah.
missus. Abductor.
What if
Should
Chris
be-
Wood came for your missus?
It will be a
Martin?
problem if he's abducted, though. He'll be in prison.
Where's this conversation
No,
going?
okay.
No,
I think
Oh,
it's
so you
just
have to
better
jet?
muscle.
Right, I think that's time for bed. People didn't get
Yeah.
that joke. Right,
I've been up for 12:30.
just to let everyone know,
No,
yes, Real Madrid is sold
Yeah.
out. I'm not.
Yeah, I tried to get a
asking more.
ticket.
I don't know
I
what the
couldn't get
question
one.
is. What's the question?
What's
Someone
your
sent me a
favourite
link and
kind
said,
of
ask
Easter
it.
egg?
What am
Yeah.
I
Anyone got a
asking?
spare ticket for Real Madrid?
What's
I'd love it.
everyone's favourite Easter egg? 1 second. What's everyone's favourite Easter egg was the question.
Richie's,
Right, just a quick
Richie's
one.
dog nose.
I can't watch the video when I'm alive. Oh yeah, Nottingham Forest away last season. Bernardo Silva was left back in the continues. Boo!
What is he doing to that poor dog?
I don't know. Anyway, still tickets available for Fake Madrid. Who's Fake Madrid?
Real Madrid. Real, fake.
No, Real Madrid at home is completely sold out. There are tickets for the away leg.
Yeah, that's because they always have empty seats at the
The
Bernabeu.
home game is completely sold out for Real Madrid. The Arsenal game, complete sellout. The Aston Villa game has one or two in different sections, but the more singulars. Nothing together. And Chelsea, I got my tickets for Chelsea today, so there won't be any post matches on the FA Cup semi-final. I will leave Rich, Ozzy, and Pat in charge of that one. To do, I will be at Wembley Stadium. Block 112. Come and say hello. Because I cannot make the FA Cup final again this year because I'm away. I'm in Greece.
Slacking.
Oh, you time these trips really well, don't you?
He always
No,
does.
because Pat, it was miss the Champions League final or miss the FA Cup final. I had to make the choice. And with the Champions League final being at Wembley, I had to make the bigger choice.
You picked
Could have said,
you
could have
picked
just said no
Champions
and
League
done it more
over
in pre-season.
FA
Uh,
Cup.
he's
I
likely,
can't
he's likely
believe
to
you've
extend
done
the
that,
final.
Martin.
What?
The amount of times you
Horrified.
talked about
I'm
No,
horrified.
hang
the
on a
FA
minute.
Cup
I'm
being
not
better
saying
than
no.
the
You
Champions
just
League.
said no to both and done a longer pre-season.
Listen, I can't
know,
choose when
it's
my
just-
missus books a bloody holiday, Ozzy.
Sounds like excuses to me.
Oh, where are you going in Greece, Andrew? I'm going to Santorini. Meet up, mate. But I am going to do a bit of island hopping. I've not been to Greece in about 10 years. I'm going having some relaxation from Rich and from my parents. I'm going having I'm only going for 5 nights. I'm not even going for long.
I love it. Martin's
Me
just
and
admitted
Pat
he
need a
sees
rest
me
from
as a
you
father
two.
figure.
It's because you're an old git. Any banners? Oh, yeah, one thing I'm potentially maybe joining 1894. Watch this space. I've spoke to Dante. He's sending me a membership form, and I'm going to have a meeting with Dante. So potentially maybe joining 1894. Because it's one of them sayings. If you do it yourself. Have a go yourself. I can't come in here and tell everyone, let's try and get the atmosphere going, and I'm just sat in my ass.
Free curly whirlies. Excellent. that extra sugar boost to all 50, however many thousand City fans. It's just going to be. Yeah, do it, Martin. Curly whirly on every seat. That will get the fans going.
Yes, the 1894 are trying to do something.
Yep.
No, I'm not leaving the channel. It's just to help out on match days a little bit if I can.
No, a curly whirly signed by Kate Curl.
Yeah, and then
Anyway,
Yeah.
okay, thank you for
Kit
joining us, mate.
Kats, Bounty Bars. Oh,
Thanks for me. Always a pleasure. Never a chore.
Pat, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Martin. Rich, Ozzy, thank you very much.
Rich,
Always a pleasure, Pat.
good night.
it's the start of the day. Got a.
Thank you for joining us, Rich.
And you've had your Weetabix, haven't you, Rich?
You're very welcome. I haven't yet, actually. I'm
And for
about
everyone
to,
Well, it's a
in
bit
chat,
late now. You can't really have Weet-Bix at
Yeah,
I'm
11 in
about
the
to
morning.
have one of my favourite drinks.
Orange Gino, you 1970s, 80s.
I
person.
love
God
it.
almighty.
Does anyone
Very-
can anyone sing Can anyone sing the song?
Ooh, curly whirly.
Orange Gina. Orange Gina.
You're showing your
Sorry,
age now,
mate.
Martin.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyone in the
Orange
chat
Gina.
and to Rich, I will never ever ask a general question ever again.
No, I think you should.
It
Martin. I
caused
think
World War
next-
III. And
next
anyone asked
week-
the question.
Next
Oh,
week,
sorry.
I really think you should suggest Kevin De Bruyne going to left wing and Carl Walker at left back, and whether
He does
they
half the
can
time.
down the left.
Ellison
Pardo,
got
I promise
Haaland
you,
in goal.
mate, I'm never going to ask that question. You and Charlie got very upset with me for asking one simple question.
But if you give him a curly whirly, all is forgiven.
But I'm telling you what, Rich, next time Bernardo Silva goes to left back, we're having a convo, me and you privately, Sunshine.
I'm fine with Bernardo. Bernardo can play anywhere.
He's
we've
still
already
carrying
said-
it on.
Bernardo
Good night, everyone.
Bernardo can, be
Anyway,
anywhere.
Right, listen, what's coming up? Tomorrow, 2 o'clock, I will be on Dan Potts' channel at 2 p.m. Then in the evening, there is a LB panel show at 9 p.m. on It's LB. Then Saturday, I will be on a Gal's channel about 5-ish to return the favour, where I will get dogs abuse. If a gal still wants me on after tonight. And then Sunday, nothing, the game day. After the game, straight into Never a Foul. No, it's not. Only Judge Mo reaction, Never a Foul, and then we'll do one. Because I don't know who's available for post-match, because 2 people have already told me they're not available at all for post-match. So we'll just see who we can get.
Yeah, because it's going to be
Everyone's
Oh,
shitting
the
out the
game's in the
post-match
middle,
just in case at this rate. Everyone's doing one.
So
I mean,
But generally, I can't. I'm working.
They'll whinge.
Pardon? What's your excuse, Ozzy?
I'm working.
Garbage excuse. Rich, what's
isn't
your
it- isn't
excuse for shitting out the post?
Oh, it's okay for me, but it's not okay for
Well,
Ozzy. Yeah.
I'm already going to have to
Double
go to.
standards, Pat.
I'm going to have to
Double
go to
standards.
church, and I'm
I
gonna
work
have
the
to go to
longest
church after
hours.
this.
Yeah.
For working.
This is a
For
weird form of
working
nepotism.
on-
It's a weird form of nepotism. Yeah.
I can top you in a minute. I'm on 24-hour watch. I'm not on 24-hour watch. That sounds like I'm a no.
Is that something to do with ankle bracelets?
No, this is
As
this is
both.
why I'm so
No wonder he's
He's on an
He's on a
24-hour
Asbone.
Brilliant, yeah.
I'm on 24-hour
Yeah.
call with my father, because I will give you an update. My father is not good at the moment. He's really, really bad. Yesterday's breathing went a little bit more shallow. So we're just keeping things under obs at the moment. So in the next few days, maybe a week or so, if I suddenly go on a disappearing act, you know why. I have got an update from YouTube. I've got to put another dispute in. Yeah.
Is that regards
I've
to
heard that.
the charity stream?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do 12 hours and they copyright because of a 5-second thing on a charity stream that was to do with Alzheimer's on an Alzheimer's video.
Yeah. I've heard that the senior executives at Google are meeting now to discuss the outrage of Rodri being suggested to be at centre back, and that possibly we could get taken from the air live on show because what's his name, Yuri, whatever his name is just he's a Bernardo fan as well. Yeah, they love Bernardo at Google.
Good night.
Anyway, thank you all for joining us. Thank you all for your lovely comments. There's so many of you. Hopefully we'll get there. Trouble is with YouTube, as BB's put, you're dealing with a lot of bots. So trying to get through to someone is a nightmare at YouTube. Believe me. Because it's not even because they even separate themselves from Google when you try and speak to them, which they really shouldn't do. No. Anyway, thank you all. We will see you Sunday for the post-match show. Probably me on my own at this rate. Have a lovely time. Enjoy. City, in my opinion,
till we die,
in or out of the title race come 6:30 on Sunday night. By the way, and because these three are ahead, it means I can run the post-match whatever bleeding time I want now.
The later the better. The later
he's
the
on,
more.
right? He's on now.
Yeah. I should be. I've not said no. I just said it. Depending on the time, I'm going to be up at 2:30 watching the game.
Right. So if I go as late as I can, hang on. So if we go as late as we can, that suits you.
Yeah.
We're not.
Later,
right. We're going to be on late Sunday night.
Either really close to the game or as far away as possible.
It takes me an hour to get out the frigging car.
Could be done off camera.
Yeah. So the later the better. I'm more likely
this
to
is
be
really.
late.
Pat's got a really good point. I'm being totally unprofessional. My apologies.
Yeah.
See you all soon. Bye all.
Bye.
Right.
Yeah.